biu 是我运营的产品，我想通过它和更多不懂分寸的人一起探索世界的边界。正是这些不懂分寸的人，也许他们不被理解，任性、固执，甚至疯狂。
就是我。
但如果没人去打破边界，谁又能玩透世界呢？
打开微信，搜索公众号“星际老男孩 SC Boy”， 这里有每日的直播预告、重要的赛事报道、精彩的视频剪辑、有趣的主播八卦、定期的抽奖福利以及爆笑的节奏和评论。关注 SC Boy 官方公众号，365天每天更新，让你与20万猛男一起更便捷的享受我和黄哥给大家带来的快乐。不要告诉别人哟。
Two zeros in either direction. I think I went 1-1 all along the entire score line. I was tempted for Kelazar versus Lancer. I was tempted for Strange versus Young Yakov. I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to go in either direction, and I had a really hard time picking. For those curious what I'm talking about, in our Discord server, over in our Discord, we do actually hold prediction games. We have predictions every single week, and we do actually tally and keep rank and keep score of everyone posting their predictions, and we will see who comes out on top of the prediction game at the end of the season. So best of luck to everyone involved in that as we are getting into our first matchup, Kelazar versus Lancer. Oh boy. And I'll be honest, this is ace versus ace. I would go as far as to say that Kelazar is the highest ranked player in Platinum R8. Likewise, Lancer as well for Mystery All Gamers. I know there are some coffee fans. I know there's some coffee fans out there. I'm one as well, but Lancer has been popping off as of late, especially in the ESL weeklies, taking down big name Korean players, big name European players in events like Kung Fu Cup and ESL Asia. So Lancer has been on fire. Likewise, Kelazar has been improving a lot over the past 6 months as well, even vying for contention of #1 in the Americas. It was shocking to see how far Kelazar shot up, surpassing Special, surpassing Future. I would say Kelazar is the best Terran in the Americas, still in the shadow of Australia. You know, Australia is the #1 in the region, but Kelazar does vie for that and does contest against that. And here we go, we're getting to our next into game 1, and in the top right hand corner we have Kelazar for Platinum R8. And in the bottom left we have Lancer for Mystery All Gamers. Let us go. Are going to be settling in. As a reminder for the format of this event, and before I get ahead of myself, of course, a big shout out to Sort of. So my apologies. A massive shout out to Sort of SC in the chat. Of course, an amazing player in his own right, was streaming earlier today, bright and early in the land of Europa. So thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you did not stay up 24 hours and just now going to bed. I hope that did not happen. Este sort of. But we're going to be settling in. Welcome everyone, welcome to WTL. This is a best of 7. Best of 7 between both teams, but the best of 7 is constructed with best of 2s. We have best of 2s between all these players, so best of 2 between Kelazar and Lancer, best of 2 between Coffee and Goblin, and of course Young Yakov and Strange, so we have best of 2s all around. And if we do go for 1-1 tied up score lines, then we will have an ace match. We'll have a best of 1 ace match at the end to determine who takes the series. For now, we're focusing on our TVP, and we do have some interesting openers. Economic opener at a Kelazar, I don't know if you see on the minimap, but that was a single gas opener from Kelazar, so it was going for a faster CC on the low ground, so greedy or economic play here by Kelazar. Meanwhile, Lancer going for a standard opener, went for a gate, cyber, expand, back at home. So early game is going to be pretty chill. Did I speak too soon? Early game should be pretty chill and should be pretty cool, calm, and collected here from both Kellizer and Lancer, but we are going to be hiding our probe. I imagine the idea here is that the probe hides from the Reaper, Reaper moves out, probe moves in for a scout, as we are hugging the edge of the wall. Meanwhile, Kellizer did open up Marine actually and is looking for that probe. He's hunting for it as we speak, checking the third base location before coming back around. As the probe does suck it in, does hug the wall, does stay safe and sound. Meanwhile, we have our take of choice from the side of Lancer. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener from our Chinese Protoss player. Meanwhile, we see Kellizer not going for anything crazy like a 3cc 3 Rax. He's going for a Rax into factory after the CC. So everything's looking as it should, getting to his own 1-1-1, I imagine. We'll keep an eye on Kellizer. I said we'll keep an eye on him just because he is quite an aggressive player in this matchup. We've seen a lot of 2-base all-ins out of Kellizer in TVP. And that is going to be a starport, not a second rack. So far, everything's kind of lining up here. 1-1-1 follow-up here by Kellizer, getting into drop play, I imagine. And we'll see if Lancer can get a read on what's going on. For now, he does confirm the Hellion, so that is a tell that it is not a 3-Rax. 3-Raxes have been trending up as of late. We've seen a lot of players embrace 3-Raxes or 3-Rax variations. Not here, not this time, and Lancer does confirm. Ooh, but that is an early tank. Okay, that is Hellion into tank production, so really fast tank production here out of Kellizer. I feel like we're going to be working towards something like a tank drop with a medevac, maybe 2 tanks moving across the map, ideally hunting down some of these stray buildings in the main or even pushing towards the natural, but very big sign of aggression here for Kellizer. And Lancer's in the dark. But Lancer's playing safe. You can see here in the production tab, 2 more gateways on the way. 2 extra gates on the way. That's going to be a 3-gate blink opener. With 3-gate blink, we're pretty safe and sound. We have extra gateways here to warp in, to reinforce, to go toe-to-toe with the army of Kellizer. Not as greedy as, say, 2-gate blink into a 3rd, for example. And we can see that Lancer is mining through those middle patches on the left-hand side. His goal there is to mine through and expand linearly here towards the linear 3rd base. So a very safe 3rd is going to be taken. The only way to apply pressure to that base is with a drop. Or breaking down some rocks. And it takes a while. It takes a while to break down those rocks, so yeah, it is going to be quite a safe expansion here for Lancer. That's one of the big features of this map, is how safe your 3rd and 4th base can be. But here comes that drop, and here comes that tank. Ooh, the Adept, did we scout the medevac? That would have been close. That would have been very close. Both tanks, they were just about to move out. Alas, forces siege, forces it up defensively, forced to make it look like we're staying back at home when Kellizer did not want to. We spoke about it. This was meant to be a double tank drop across the map, and yeah, now we're stuck at home. Stalkers do poke in, they pick away at the Marines, and this is good damage for Lancer. I mean, he's not breaking Kellizer by any means, but he is containing Kellizer and denying him his build. Kellizer wanted to be aggressive, wanted to be active, and now he's stuck at home. Whew. So, nice moves here out of Lancer. That means he gets away with the 3rd base. 3rd base is getting up and running. What I will say from the side of Kellizer, even though he is contained, and even though he wanted to be aggressive and can't be anymore, is at least he keeps his tanks alive. You know, it's not like he got caught moving out and he got surrounded and he lost his army or anything like that. It's not that dire. He just got spotted, so he backs off, builds up, and gets ready for wave number 2. Hallucination is going to dive in and confirm the production. A 3rd CC is on the way. The Hallucination does confirm the 3rd CC. That tells Lancer that, okay, it's not going to be a 2-base all-in. It's not going to be hyper-aggressive. Means that I can cut corners, tech up, focus on upgrades, be somewhat greedy getting into the mid-game. So nice scout at a Lancer. Meanwhile, the Marine drop does get across the map. Now, these are vanilla Marines. No stim, no combat shields, so they're not too effective, but they can focus on the probes. They get a Stalker, they get 2 probes, and almost getting a 3rd. Oh, just barely. Just barely they get a 3rd probe. It's okay. It's an okay amount of damage. Marines are pretty expendable. Marines, you know, we can throw them away. Medevac's less so. That was a medevac going down, and we're going for the tank. A little bit greedy here at a Lancer. And he gets it. He gets the tank, and he doesn't lose a single Stalker that I speak too soon. Oh, the auto turret. We lose 1 Stalker. But do we get the Raven? Not quite. Bit of miscontrol. Ooh, that's brutal. Lancer with a reaction on cams there. Went for a very risky maneuver. He got the tank, which was good. He didn't lose anything for the tank, but got too greedy. Got too greedy. He lost 4 Stalkers for nothing there towards the end. Technically 4 Stalkers for a tank. Not the best trade for Lancer. Not the best trade. Just a little bit too greedy towards the end there. Meanwhile, we have SCV being pulled. We can repair those Ravens. 4 more Stalkers move out. And we do get eyes on the would-be 3rd base. We'll be able to delay. We'll be able to get an SCV. We get one, we get two SCVs, picking away at those Marines once again. Remember, Stim is not done, so we can fight the bio, at least for the next couple of seconds as Stim is about to finish up. Behind this, Lancer's fully saturated on 3 bases. We should be seeing a 4th momentarily, especially with Kelliser expanding, and we'll see how we expand as we actually are expanding towards our opponent on the left-hand side. It's a bold move. Is a bold move, assuming that's where we're going to be expanding. We'll see where we do take the 4th. Okay, triangular 3rd. Never mind. So Lance's going to be expanding back at home, taking his 4th, getting into a splash damage of choice, working towards Colossus production. We have Extend Thermal Lands, Colossus on the way. Only the 1 robo for the time being, but once the 4th base gets up and running, once we take extra gases, we can afford a 2nd robo and double robo production. So we're building up. Lance is building up. Remember, he saw the 3rd base earlier, so he knows that he could afford to invest into all these upgrades, into all this tech. Meanwhile, Kelliser finally moving out with his first push. He's got 2 tanks, he's got those 2 Ravens from earlier, as he was able to reserve both of them. Not too much bio here, but really the main bulk of the DPS is going to be coming from those tanks. Marauders coming in to reinforce. Force fields do slice up the army. Very nice force fields. Yeah, the army is pinned back. There's 1 disable, but the disable doesn't really do too much here. Kelliser is pinned back, and Lancer can wait at the disable. Now, I believe there's 1 disable left. I believe because there were 2 Ravens, they each had 1. They do. So Kelliser thankfully still has 1 in the chamber. Does rotate around. Lancer try to catch reinforcements, alas he gets caught instead. But now we're up to 3 Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. We're very well set up. I believe we have shield battery set up as well at the 3rd base. Sorry, at the 4th base even. Yeah, we're going to have an overcharge as well. The army is spotted. And Lancer does rotate, but Kelliser makes it up the ramp this time. Does make it up the ramp. Won't be caught out. Tanks are sieged. Ravens are ready. Remember, they do have a disable. And we're collapsing in. Yeah, tanks are going to be targeted down. Ravens late to respond. And now we get our disable, but it's too little too late. We can shut down the main army. We disable every single Colossus, but the Gateway army is enough. We focus down the bio. We focus down the Ravens. At the same time, double jump across the map. Lancer out of position. Oh, but oh my god, a full medevac goes down. Papi, calm down. We shut down the full medevac, just the 1 Marine survives, and Lancer, he's looking good here. What's scary about what just happened? Okay, Lancer, he reset the tank count, he reset the Raven count, he shut down the bio, and Lancer maintains all 3 Colossus. That's what's terrifying here. As we might be overextending a little bit, we do need some reinforcements for those Colossi. Nice EMP. EMP does connect. Viking going ham. Nice kiting, but the first Colossus is going to go down. Again, there's no War Prism here to juggle, no War Prism to micro. And Lancer, he's going to be bleeding out every single unit here. This was not the fight to take. Stalkers arrive, but a little bit too late, and we lose every single Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. The Prism arrives, but once again, these reinforcements, they were needed with the main army, and Lancer, he pulled the trigger too soon. Did pull the trigger a little bit too soon. Once again, we saw that a little bit earlier when he was trying to snipe that Raven. We see it here, pushing in without his reinforcements. Honestly, if he had waited for these reinforcements, he might just be able to end the game. Like, this move out may have just ended the game here and now if this had the rest of his robo units. I mean, he still has a terrifying army, still pushing in. We'll focus on those medevacs. Zealots are running out. And we clean up the Zealots. Stalkers, they're going for the medevacs. They do manage to pick off most of them. But Kelliser does hold. Does hold on, cost him 11 SCVs. But Kelliser's economy is still on par, if not superior, than that of Lancer. Sure, Lancer has a higher probe count. We have mules. We have mules back. And Lancer has to start from the beginning here, from scratch, when it comes to his Colossus. Now back up to 1 Colossus. Hasn't taken his gases yet. What I'm referring to, he hasn't taken gases at his 4th or his 3rd base, which means Lancer can't actually afford a 2nd robo. So replacing that robot army, it's going to take a while. Okay, going to take quite some time here. Oh, sorry, I scratched that. We do have a 2nd robo. Should be working towards double Colossus production soon, as we're taking a 6th base. Sorry, 5th base. I can count. 5th base is on the way. Lancer stuck at home, and Kelliser, he has momentum. He has a lead in supply here. Ay, ay, ay. And can Lancer hold on with 2 Colossus? Does have the high ground, does have the overcharge, depending on the angle of attack. We'll see. Bearing in mind as well that Lancer is spreading himself thin with his base, with his expansion pattern. He's spread pretty thin towards the left and right hand side. So it's so important right now for Lancer to get eyes on the map, to get eyes on the army movement of Kelazur. We have some nice pylon positioning on the left-hand side of the map for Lancer, but we're lacking that on the right. There we go, disruptors are on the way. We're up to 2 Colossus, I believe. I think we stopped at 2. Don't think we have a 3rd. Drop into the main. Kelazur does pull back. And looks like the game is going to settle down a little bit here. I say settle down. The armies are about to clash, but both players are maxing out. Nice EMP on the Stalkers. But we get a big Zealot Warp in into the main base. SCVs are going down. Yeah, we're not quite ready for the Warp in. At the same time, Kelazur are getting caught out. Medevacs are falling once again. Nice target firing here out of Lancer. It denies the expansion, snipes the Medevacs, and gets another Warp in into the main. This one won't be as effective. Oh, yeah. As the Zealots are going to get trapped and are going to be shut down. Not as effective here. But we have been banking up disruptors. We're up to, what, 3, 4, soon to be 5 and 6? It's a lot of disruptors back. Disruptors are amassing. Now, disruptors, of course, they're high risk, high reward. You know, they can connect, they can make a fight or break a fight here. They can come out, or they can, of course, whiff. So we'll see how good the control is going to be as Kelazur, he's diving in towards the 3rd. Army somewhat in position. Never goes off. And we do get a connection. Yeah, not too bad on the left, but the other does not quite connect. Up! Oh my god, never mind. The Novas, they are popping off. Kelazur, he goes to the dive. We have the overcharge. With the help of the overcharge, it looks like Lancer, he will fend this off. He will hold. Mine shot going off. Nice reaction there. The Lancer does minimize the splash damage or his losses. But he lost a lot of disruptors in that fight. Lancer holds, but he's barely holding on. He doesn't have enough to keep on going. Yeah, the base is going to go down. He had, I want to say, 5 disruptors. He went down to 1. He lost far too much in the process, far too much in the defense. Overcharge is on cooldown. And Kelazur, looks like he has broken this Nexus. And he can keep pushing. At the same time, Zealot Rambai will distract Kelazur, but it's not getting too much damage done. Nice split. Oh my god. With the spread. The split spot. Kelazur rotates towards the right-hand side. Focusing on his defense back at home. He's going to bleed out 7 SCVs, but will be able to maintain himself. Yo, Lancer has a vendetta against these Medevacs. We've killed a lot of Medevacs this game. Another Medevac goes down. We catch some ghosts. Very nice pick-off here from Lancer. Very nicely done. Building up his disruptor count once again. Up to, what, 4 disruptors. There is potential. Lancer may be down in army supply, but the reality is that if we can connect some beautiful detonations on these Novas, if we can't connect them, we can take a fight. But they need to connect is the problem. Like that's the one chance that Lancer has. As Kelazur, he's up, what, 60 supply. That's a lot of soup, Pat. The other thing we could do, of course, is a Zealot Rambai, right? In the midst of an attack, if we go for a Zealot Rambai, if Kelazur decides to turn back to defend, and if he loses a mineral line, like there are chances, there are opportunities here for Lancer to buy some time. With the Planetaries up and running, Lancer trying to knock down rocks on the left-hand side. It's going to take a while for that to occur. Kelazur is looking to knock down another base, another Nexus. Lancer trying to keep up. As we catch more, we catch more Medevacs. I don't. Oh, as someone is having some latency issues here. Might be a player, it might be an observer. Hopefully everything is okay. Ooh. Hopefully everything's okay. Of course, we're more than happy to wait until the issue is resolved. And yeah, when it comes to the game state here, it's pretty in favor of Kelazur. Like, Kelazur has momentum, Kelazur is ahead, but Lancer isn't out of this. Not yet, not yet. We've seen greater comebacks before, and I want to believe that we can bounce back here. We'll see. Also, thankfully, this latency issue occurred basis of Lancer, and here we go. We're coming back in. Do jump back in. Click Lancer was able to catch 1, maybe 2 Medevacs, then pull back. Kelazur likewise rotates over. does rotate. With how many? Still 4 disruptors with the main army. And 3 Colossus never go up. Oh! Ooh, no splits! Yeah, massive connections here on Kelzer. A good start for Lancer. A good start for the Protoss. Yeah, we have the high ground. Kelzer being forced back. Do we have another Nova? We do! Ooh, we barely do split towards the end. But Kelzer has to retreat, and despite being up heavily in supply, we're forcing the army back. Oh my god! Oh, another Nova! Diego! Oh my god. We were talking earlier, yo, if we had like the perfect Novas, then Lancer could bounce back, and somehow, some way we tie up the supply. Diego, he was up 50 supply, by the way. It was crazy. He was maxed out, and Lancer was at like 145 just merely a minute ago. Okay, we're in this. We're back in. Oh my god. Lancer, never count him out, Papi. Never count him out. As Lancer does hold on, getting to his rover production. Behind this, expanding, taking another base. Expanding, taking a 7th even. And on this 6th base economy, Lancer is rebuilding, is remaxing. Dark Shrine on the way. Double Forge upgrades. Kelzer going for a Doom drop towards the left-hand side. I do like this. I do think that in a head-to-head fight, Lancer can take trades, as we've seen. Like, he can take trades head-to-head. But when it comes to splitting up his forces, that's where I feel like he is going to be at his weakest. Meanwhile, the Observer did spot the drop. Lancer rotates over. Yeah, he catches up. EMP on the Stalkers, but the Zealots, they do buffer. They do shut down the Ghosts. These are expensive losses. Oh my god, that was like, what, 6 Ghosts? Kelzer, this was a costly drop here. He's trading with the Stalkers, but this is a gateway army. And he's gonna lose so many Ghosts here. Oh my god. Yeah, this was not worth it for Kelzer. Is going to be reinforcing. Does have the planetary. He holds onto his base at least, but that was a brutal loss. And I believe that was most of the Ghosts. Yeah, there's 1 Ghost on the right-hand side. Oh. We had most of them towards the left. They all went down. There's 1 Ghost with the main army. This is the time for Lancer. This is the time to push in. And he is. And he does push forward. Novas once again sending away the army. A little bit lackluster. A little bit with those Novas. Okay, we're up to 2 Ghosts now. Back up to 2. As the game settles down a little bit here, I would not be opposed to Lancer throwing down a Fleet Beacon and a Stargate and working towards Skytos. If that's how we wanted to approach the game. Otherwise, yeah, sticking with Robo is going to be okay. What I should say is that usually a Skytos transition is triggered by Liberators, and that's something that Diego doesn't have. He hasn't taken up into Libs despite going up against a ground-based army. That's kind of like my one criticism here about his army composition. Up until this point, though, he's been doing well outside of those Novas. This Lancer does attempt to poke in. Both armies are remaxed. They are back up there. But again, without Liberators, there's no kind of anchor point to zone the ground Protoss army away. That's the power of the Liberator, is to have more pushing power from the side of the Terran. That's something that Kelzer just doesn't really have. Does come in with another double drop, though, or triple drop even. Yeah, Lancer's out of position. The base is going to be going down. At the same time, Lancer pushing in. Novas, they zone the army, but they don't connect. Zalarambe does get a surround on the planetary. On the Nova! Ooh. Once again, big connection. Takes down the Ghost. Yeah, 1 Ghost left. We pull back. Overcharge is popped. Once again, another Nova! Yeah, the Novas are popping off, and Lancer, he takes the fight. We trade a base for a base. Lancer going to be recalling. A risky move. Does recall. Does hold his own. Will protect his base. At the same time, Zealots, they catch reinforcements. The army is overstimmed. We can probably take that fight. Lancer, he pulls back. Does pull back, gets caught out. But who catches who? Once again, more Ghosts are exposed. That's 2 more Ghosts going down. At the same time, he does dive on the right-hand side, and we're pulling Kelzer apart. DT's in the mix. Lancer has split up his army well. It looks like he's going to be consolidating his forces on the right-hand side. Is rotating over. Kelzer does spot this with the center tower, so you can see that his drop on the left is pushing in. I believe recall is still on cooldown, I'm not certain of that. Lancer likewise rotates once again. He'll be able to keep up. Likewise, the space isn't the most important base. Oof. This looks like another Nova connects. We barely missed it on cams there. I just saw a lot of red on the ground. And Lancer is still maxed out. Engaging with the army. No disruptors left here, which is concerning for the Protoss. The ground army does kite well. As I say that, Lancer reinforces. Yeah, focusing his attention here on the right-hand side. No more planetary. This base is vulnerable. And we just dive in. We dive in. The Vikings, they can't really do much here. In a way, dead supply. And we shut down the base. Nova goes off. Massive connection. Oh my god. The choke point was brutal. At the same time, Kelzer will knock down a Nexus, but again, not the most important base here for Lancer. Lancer's just going to keep pushing. No reason to turn back. No reason to come back home. Takes down another planetary. Vikings will get the Colossus, but it might just be too little too late. As one Colossus barely stands. And Lancer snowballing out of control. Shuts down the main army. GG gets called, and Lancer takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Lancer fighting back. I mean, this was a roller coaster ride of emotions. Not gonna lie here. If you remember, initially Lancer was ahead. Lancer was looking good. And then Lancer threw away those Colossus. Remember when he moved out after shutting down the drop play? When he was pushing on 4 bases? Before his reinforcements, he moved out with like 3 Colossus, 2 Immortals. Didn't have his War Prism. Didn't have those Zealots or Stalkers that were still 30 seconds away. And Lancer lost everything. He lost everything then and there. And then Kelzer took a massive lead from that moment. He was ahead in economy, ahead in army. But then the power of disruptors. the power of the Nova, Papi. The power of the Nova. Fairly sure I need a shower after watching those disruptor hits. Wash yourself, Papi. You're dirty. Ay. But we are getting into game number 2. This is the big advantage, or one of the big features of this format and of this tournament is, of course, loser's pick. No vetoes, and in the top right-hand corner, we have Kelzer for Platinum R8. And in the top left, we have Lancer for Mystery All Gamers. Whew, here we go. But again, one of the fun things about WTL is it is loser's pick, no vetoes whatsoever. So because of that, typically we see a lot of upsets in this tournament. We've seen a lot of players bring down Raynor, bring down Serral, bring down Maru, for example, with hyper specialized builds, with just crazy strategies that they have planned and prepared days in advance for a specific map, for a specific matchup, for a specific player. So because of that, WTL does favor like more preparation. Players that do prefer preparation-based kind of play. So players like Lambo, they excel, for example, in an event like WTL. I know the Shopify boys have had interviews in the past where they talk about WTL and they say that they take it very seriously and they all help each other prepare for their matches and prepare for their series. Likewise, I think Firefly is best at that. Players like Firefly, players like Rex, they always come in with either cheese or just something crazy for game number 2 in case they do lose game 1. So we'll see what Kelzer, what he's been cooking. What have you been cooking, Pat? Let's find out. Here we go. As for now, it is going to be a, once again, single gas opener. So it was a Rax Expand out of Kelzer. Same opener as game 1, something more economic from the Terran player. This means we're not going for any early game aggression. Winding it back a little bit, I mean, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to game 1. There's just so many layers and so many facets of what happened in game 1. But it all started with a double tank drop. A double tank drop that was denied, that was scouted, and Kelzer was contained, and it allowed Lancer to be a little bit greedier early on, which is what led to his advantage. We'll see if that is the case here, if, again, Kelzer does switch things up. For now, Twilight Council opener out of our Protoss player. It's going to be a Twilight Council into Blink. We'll keep an eye on how many gateways Lancer does throw down. On a map like Ghost River, I imagine at least 3 gateways. This map is very small, it's very congested. I'm sure a big reason as to why Kelzer chose this map is to be aggressive, is to be in the face of Lancer. Meanwhile, First Adept gets across the map, takes down the first Reaper. Sorry, takes down the first Marine. There was no Reaper. Marine goes down SCV as well, not bad. The Adept trading nicely and is going to be able to shade away. The Hellion is confirmed, so Lancer once again confirms that it is not a 1-1-1. Sorry, it's not a 3-Rax. It is a 1-1-1 or 1-1-1 variation. We can see the starport is done, and do we go for another tech lab on the factory? Do we go for another fast tank? My eyes are on that production tab. No, we don't go for... Okay, we go for the add-on switch. Tech lab no longer on the factory. That is a Banshee in the production tab. Let's go. So a very different build here by Kelzer, rushing to cloak Banshees of all things. And we'll see if this goes unscouted. As we've spoken, as we've mentioned in the kind of aftermath of I Am Katowice, Tank Banshee has been very trendy in this matchup. Very trendy. Seen a lot of the Korean Terrans, a lot of the European Terrans embrace Banshees in this matchup. This year specifically. And Kelzer is one to embrace it as well. Banshees on the way, tanks are on the horizon. This can lead into a 2-base all-in with a hefty tank push with Banshees to support. We even saw that last night. I think it was Björn. I think we were casting... was it Björn versus Classic last night? Where he did this very similar build. As the Banshee is moving out. Getting to the natural. Likewise, we see Kelzer does catch out some of these Stalkers. Nice control. Lancer does blink away, but the Banshee has arrived. But detection is in position. The Observer lying in wait. The Banshee forced back. Very nicely done. The Banshee so far does almost nothing. And Lancer is holding. The Banshee does bypass the Stalkers, and we do... Oh, not get a probe. Banshee does at least survive, and is going to force some of the supply to stay back at home, but here comes that tank push. For the time being, Lancer is distracted, but no, he does spot the move out. Leads out a Stalker, which is brutal, but does confirm the army moving out. Boys are being pulled, a handful of them. Kelzer, he throws down a 3rd CC behind this, so this is not an all-in, but a committed push nonetheless. This needs to get damage done. This needs to trade well. Shield batteries are on the way. Lancer, he misses the army. Yeah, he's out of position. Tanks, they siege up. Massive volleys go off. We force a cancel on the first shield battery. The second is within range. Yeah, we have the overcharge, but the shield battery goes down instantly. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Lancer not ready for this. We're within range of the base, and the base, it's gonna go down. And remember, behind this Kelzer, he has a 3rd. He doesn't have to keep pushing. Killing the 3rd base of Lancer is all he wanted. Base on the way. Lancer going for a massive counterattack. There is potential with these Stalkers. There is a lot of potential here. Catching a Banshee. Can dive into the main. Nothing in the main base. 3rd CC is going to be delayed. Workers are going down. No tank whatsoever. Marines, remember, there is no sim. Yeah, the Bio Army, it can struggle here against these Stalkers. Lancer's trading well, getting 7 SCVs. Can we get the tank? We get the Raven. Oh, sorry, we get the Banshee and the tank as well. Ay, ay, ay. Kelzer, he did well for himself, but he's racing back home. He's losing so much. 8 SCVs. We'll clean this up. But Lancer, he's in this. He is still in this. May have lost a 3rd, but he got, what, a tank, delayed the 3rd base of his opponent, 11 SCVs, Marines, Banshees. Insane trade there for Lancer. Again, very smart move to go for the counterattack when he did, recognizing that he could not save the 3rd, that he could not protect his bases. Went for a bit of a Hail Mary play. Did pay off. Back at home, Lancer trying to re-establish his 3rd. Colossus production has begun. Double forge, double upgrades. Lancer threatening the main base once again. Cannot push in towards that tank. but can snipe the add-ons. Can we deny interference matrix? It's gonna be close. Gonna be close. It looks like we can. Yeah, matrix is denied. That's a massive pick-off actually. We have the Raven, but now can only throw down auto turrets, or I guess anti-armor missiles as well. No more disables. Zealots into the natural, forcing friendly fire in the mineral line. Big tank volleys going off. 3 SCVs go down. 5 SCVs. Oh my god. 7, 8. 8 workers going down. At the same time, I believe we shut down the Banshee. Yeah, the Banshee tried to go into the natural. Lancer all over it. It's pointing out 3 Banshees going down. As I say that, we do have a stray Banshee in the main base. Gets 5 probe kills. Kelazar fighting back. Icedon gets 5 workers. Rotating over. There's Z being taken. What I will say is that, again, Lancer's done a great job here at recovering from these earlier losses. Pushing into tank range, into tank fire, I think we can pull this off. Stim is still halfway done, bear that in mind. So these Marines aren't anywhere near as effective when it comes to protecting these tanks. Likewise, the Raven does not have Disable. So, Kelazar, this army is looking quite vulnerable. Lancer can try to break this. At the same time, the War Prism does make it in! It does barely slip in. Tank does on siege. Massive warping into the main. SCVs are going down. And soon it's going to be go time for Lancer. Stim is done in 10 seconds. Yeah, Lancer, he doesn't commit. His main army pulls away. We got 6 SCVs, and then we get the hell out of here. And now the upgrades are finishing up for Kelazar. He should be able to hold on to his 3rd. He should be much safer at this point. Meanwhile, Lancer, instead of attacking, takes a 4th. Does take a 4th base. Getting to a Templar Archives, working towards Archons, potentially Storm. We'll see. His Vikings were looking for the Prism, but it did recoil back home. Nicely timed. As Kelazar gets caught out a little bit. Big swipe shot on the bio. Swipes on the bio. We do see Lancer rotating over towards the main. And Kelazar is moving out. We're going to hit that 4th at the same time. Once again, the Zealots do slip in. But we're in position. There we go. Kelazar shuts down the Prism, shuts down the Zealots. Is moving out. And Lancer's not in position. Yeah, he's not ready for this. He was at the 3rd base. He was not at the 4th. The tanks, they siege up in range. Overcharge gets popped, but the overcharge is depowered. Zealots coming from behind, though. We're getting on top of the tanks. We're breaking through the tank line just barely, and Lancer is shutting this down. Cleans up the main army. And maintains all 4 of his Colossus. That's 4 Colossus. Oh my god. It's crazy. Lancer, he holds, he shuts down the main army. Now we can go for a counterattack. Back at home, 0 tanks. Lancer can push in, but for now he's waiting for reinforcements. War Prism's being rebuilt. Makes sense. With the War Prism, we can of course reinforce. We can juggle back. Can micro those Colossus. So Kelazar has time. He has time to recover. He's reinforcing with Ghosts. Gonna have EMPs. He'll have those EMPs available. And Lancer this time pushing in with a War Prism. Not making the same mistake he made in game 1. So I'll say head towards the natural. At the same time, we hit the 3rd. We're going to force a cancel on the 4CC. Yeah, 4th base. Ooh, was that killed? Uh-oh. I think that was killed, not canceled. The Lancer is snowballing out of control. He's breaking the 3rd. Vikings are doing what they can, Ghosts as well, but there's just not enough of an army, not enough supply. Lancers breaking through at the same time. There's a drop across the map. It can do damage, but alas, the main army, it cannot be stopped. Not anymore. GG gets called, and Lancer will take the 2-0. GG. Two, papi, two. Ay. GG, well played. Lancer will take the 2-0. We'll take down Kelzer. A big residue alternate, so it would have been game 1 US West, game 2 Central. Usually it's in that order. Sometimes it's reversed, but usually it's game 1 West, then game 2 Central. Just to keep things fair. Just as a heads up, as we're getting ready here for our next game. Not gonna lie, now like coming into another ZVP, what's on my mind is Fiant's clip. I don't know if anyone saw that on Twitter. Fianti posted a meme like yesterday, maybe the day before. Oh, that's why just jumping in. We'll talk about the meme later. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have Young Yakov for Platinum R8. And in the top right, we have Strange for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. I imagine it must have been posted to Reddit, I hope. But Fianti posted a meme about how, like, you know, he does so much, he tries so hard against, like, Protoss players, he loses the ladder game, and, like, and then he looks over to see what they're doing, and then we have a clip from Strange's stream where he's peak Protossing, is what I will say. If you missed it, I recommend checking out Fiant's Twitter. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, pew pew pew, that's the best way of putting it. Yeah. As we are settling in. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. We have the technology. Oh, did he remove it? No shot. No shot, bad. For now, we are going to be settling in. It is going to be our hatch gas pool. Standard opener here by Young Yakov. Strange going for a gate expand. Into the cyber core. Everything looking as it should. Oh, there it is. Okay. I posted it. Oh no, Kura posted it in the chat. Yeah. It's beautiful. For now, we are settling in. When it comes to Strange's PvZ, he usually thrives in the mid game. He can be a very aggressive, very chaotic player, but usually it is in the mid game. Like, there's no like kind of crazy proxies or anything like that that we rely upon early on. So the opener should be standard. We should be working towards a third base. Then on 3 bases, that's where Strange can embrace something like a faster charge base build, charge out into Archon. Very Christiana-esque. I think if I recall correctly, didn't Strange popularize 3-gate glaives? A more macro variation of Glaive Adept. That's something that we could see in this series as well. Strange was quite fond of that for a time. I'm referring to 3-gate glaives without a robo into a faster third nexus. But we'll see. We shall see, as the Overlord is going to be dipping into the main base. Ling, likewise, does threaten the mineral line. Strange is going to be able to shut this down. And we have yet to embrace any tech. It looks like Strange, he's waiting for the Overlord to go down. And the Overlord does fall. And what do you have for us? What do you got? So banking a lot of gas. We're not gonna lie. And then, oh my god, and now we see why Strange calmed down. I was like, mate, are we just not gonna throw down like a tech structure here? We had like 400 gas in the bank. Double Stargate. Okay, he's cooking. Now, is this double Stargate Void Ray? Are we gonna go full 2021? Or is it double Stargate Phoenix? Which is a little bit more modern and a little bit more seen. Double Stargate Phoenix into like Charge, for example. Meanwhile, as we decide what we're going for, we do have Young Yaku going for a very fast Roach Warren. That is a 3-minute, around 45 Roach Warren timing, so very early on. I'm pretty sure this is designed to counteract something like Glaive Adepts, if we had assumed it was a Twilight Council opener. Likewise, this defense can turn into an offense, and Young Yakov can set up for a Roach push. Getting very early Roaches. There we go. Phoenixes are on the way, so it is more modern. It's going to be double Stargate Phoenix. This can lend very nicely here into Charge. We have seen Hero go for variations of this in the past. We'll see how Strange does approach this match, or does approach this build, and how he brings it all together. Now, specifically against a Roach all-in, this is going to be awful, just because it's very similar to PvT, when a Protoss player is up against a Terran player going 3 racks. If a Terran player goes 3 racks Mass Marine, then what a Phoenix is going to do? What, pick up 1 Marine at a time and then just die, right? Similarly here, Young Yakov, he's not droning. Young Yakov, he's not droning, he's massing up Ling Roach. Never mind, he's droning. Now he's making workers, he's not going for an all-in, which means in a longer game, we're getting away with these Phoenixes. We're getting away with it. We are vulnerable, but that window where the Protoss player is vulnerable is closing. Now, window vulnerability is closing as we speak. Likewise, Lair is on the way. We're droning up even further. Young Yakov is building up towards a longer game. It looks like that Roach Warren was in fact a safety Roach Warren, and he was just, you know, respecting the build or respecting the tendencies of Strange. Remember earlier, I said that Strange, he's known for going Glaive Adepts, and it felt like Young Yakov was blindly countering that, when really it's anything but Glaives. So really smart play out of Strange to be able to make use of his reputation and use that against his opponent. And now here come the Phoenixes. Oh boy. Here come the Phoenixes. We're zooming across the map. We catch an Overlord, and we're going to be catching more than that. And what do we have in position? We have 4 Queens. We're already at the 3rd. Not bad. But we can bypass the 3rd base. We can head towards the main instead. Catching more Overlords. That's going to be a 2nd and soon to be a 3rd Overlord as well. Good damage. And behind this, it's not going to be... Oh, there's no Spore! There's no Spore in the main base. Queen is going to go down. Drones as well. Spore's just now finishing. The Queens, they're rotating over, but alas, they're a little bit too slow, a little bit too late. 10 workers go down. Ay, ay, ay. And at the same time, what I was getting at, it is not going to be Charge as a follow-up. It's going to be double Robo Immortal. Double Robo Immortal production, but we don't have any Immortals yet. Here comes Young Yakov. He's pushing in. And remember, right now is when Strange is at his weakest, as he has so little on the ground to defend. He does not have any Immortals yet. Void Razor on the way. Phoenixes, they're racing back home. And we can pick off the Ravagers, but how much more damage is being done? Lings, they're wreaking havoc. There we go. Ravagers are going to get picked up, and Strange will defend. He will clean this up, not without losing more probes, though. Very nice target firing. We focused down 7 more workers, getting an 8th probe, getting a 9th probe as well. Yeah, Strange, unable to save his workers here. So much damage being done. We get 10 probes. That's good. And that's good counter damage, bearing in mind that Young Yakov did lose, you know, as many workers across the map, lost his Overlords, lost Queens. And the Phoenixes, they're still wreaking havoc, they're still fighting more Overlords as well. And now I believe we have the double Robo. We can make 2 Immortals at a time. Catching another Overlord, more drones. Yeah, the Roach aggression has subsided, and the Phoenixes, they still have map control. Looking at the production tab, I'm curious, did we cancel a Robo? It's possible that we did. Otherwise, we'd be making use of it. So it looks like we may have canceled the 2nd Robo, and we're getting into +1, getting into a Templar Archives. Yeah, Charge is now on the way. I would not be opposed to a Templar Templar Archives. There it is for the Archon production. So it's going to be Charged Immortal Archon, a very robust ground-based army. Meanwhile, Young Yakov is rushing into Lurkers. The Lunkers back. So the game will continue. The game will continue. There's still a lot of potential for damage here, as we're getting even more drones. Catching a Queen. Ooh, for a Phoenix. Not the cleanest trade there for Strange. The cleanest trade as he does get away. Oh wait, no. Okay, we do have the 2nd robo. We're just not using it. Okay, never mind. We do have the 2nd robo. It's just not being made use of. It's chilling there at the natural. There we go. 2 Immortals at a time. Storm is on the way. We do have Strange just being active, just clearing up as much creep as possible before pulling away. Has no intention of pushing in. Now, Lurkers are good, but with a high enough Immortal count and an Archon count as well, then we can break through this. Like, lurkers, they can just melt before an immortal-based army. Young Yakub is moving out, but really he's only posturing. He's still teching, he's still droning, waiting for his upgrades to kick in. I'm referring to his hive upgrades, as the hive is done. Vipers are on the way as well. I'm really liking the army composition that Young Yakub is working towards, and the problem for Strange is he needs time, and he's a little bit all over the place. What I'm referring to, Strange, he's taking up towards like Storm, Archons, double Robo Immortal, true, and now we throw down a Fleet Beacon and double Stargate for Skytoss. I don't think we really have the setup to get into that. If Young Yakub is passive, then sure, right? If Young Yakub stays back, then Strange, he can embrace the carriers and embrace the Skytoss. But once again, it feels like Strange is quite vulnerable. He's taking up a lot and doesn't have much of an army to work with. There is a timing that Young Yakub can abuse. He can make use of Phoenix as they get across the map. They catch a couple of workers. Young Yakub is about to max. He's about to max out. 6 more Hydras on the way, waiting for +2. You have the Adaptive Talons being researched as well. Lurker range is already done. And yeah, Young Yakub is at that 190 supply. Now, if Young Yakub was aware of this Skytoss, of the Fleet Beacon and the Stargates, then he would be pushing, 100%. Right here, right now, he'd be moving in. I'm concerned. If Young Yakub is more passive, if he still stays back home, then Strange is going to get away with this. He's going to get away with it. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Strange. But here we go. Young Yakub is pushing. That's a lot of lunkers. SWAT's the main army going for the third. Storm does zone the army back. Wiles. Oh, they do connect. Do get some massive storms, though, once again on the lurkers. The Hydras as well. Yeah, the Hydras are going down, but the Blinding Clouds! Oh my god! The Blinding Clouds are brutal. We shut down every single Immortal. But can we peak? Can we keep pushing? That's the question. We barely can. Yeah, the Blinding Clouds were brutal. Vipers coming in clutch. But no more anti-air. The Void Rays, they clean this up. The Carriers, they have arrived. And Strange holds. He barely holds on. At the same time, Zealot counterattack across the map. Getting to the mineral line, drones are going down. And now we see Young Yakub going for the Spire. A very late Spire here. Okay, we have a game. Young Yakub still has the better economy in a way. Like, he's got 91 drones. Like, that's an economy, papi. So Young Yakub is going to be the first to max out. So once again, it's going to be, once he maxes, can he break the defenses of Strange time and time again? Or can he trade well enough to keep the Skytoss count, the Skytoss numbers in check? As Strange is still recovering. You see Young Yakub rotating over towards the left-hand base. Lings looking to cancel their Nexus, and they will. Yeah, the base is denied. Strange out of position. We're getting on top of the base once again, but not that many lurkers here. Not that many Hydras either, but it's going to be enough. Storms are coming in. Storms that connect with the lurkers, and what about the Hydras? Ooh, they will not. Yeah, there's only 3 carriers, and do we have enough Hydras? We barely don't. As we're down to 5 Hydras. Lurkers get cleaned up. This was an overextension from the Zerg. Yeah, this was a big overextension. Young Yakub pushing in too soon and losing everything. Remember, Young Yakub was working towards the base, but he does get the mineral line. Oh my god, the Lings. Okay. Okay, we have it back and forth. Young Yakub, he lost an expensive army, but he does get the mineral line. And bearing in mind, Strange does not have the best economy to begin with. Down to 3 bases. Strange down to a 3-base economy. Lings popping off. Yeah, but we're going for a big counterattack, and do we have enough at home to hold? 13 Corruptors on the way. And we just have to bide our time for those Corruptors. The base is going to go down. But there's not a lot of support here for the carriers. Once the Corruptors arrive, we can try to focus them down. But there are 2 Archons. Vipers are coming in. The Yoinks! Oh, we get 1. We get 1 carrier, just the 1. The Corruptors trying to dive in. Catching reinforcements, but it looks like Strange, he has too much. He shuts down the Corruptors. He's snowballing out of control. He's done it. It was not the cleanest game, is what I will say. Very scrappy, very messy. GG gets called, and Strange takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, really risky play out of Strange is what I will say. Very risky play. Whether it was embracing double Stargate Phoenix, whether it was rushing into his Sky Toss and not making use of double Robo, really risky play there out of Strange, and did pay off in the end. Did pay off. Young Yakov wasn't able to break him with the first push, and the second push was, I feel like, a little bit too trigger happy there. I'm referring to the move out on the left hand side where Young Yakov, he lost all of his lurkers, lost all of his hydras, he didn't get a single carrier. The Lings did get the mineral line, true, but that wasn't worth losing all those gas intensive units, the entirety of the ground army, and that did. As spawning in the top right hand corner of post youth, we have Young Yakov for Platinum Ari. And in the bottom left, we have Strange for Mystery All Gamers. Gonna be a hell of a surprise when he shows up with the Phoenixes and not the usual Soul Train setup. I mean, hey, it worked, man. It worked. Oh, wait, is that really Kozan? is that really Kozan? Oh my god, Papi. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Papi. Good to see you. Good to see you. As we are settling in. Was Kozan a fellow caster? Always good to see. As we're getting into game number 2, again, Strange and Mystery All Gamers, they have a massive lead so far in this series, and oh boy, is it going to be a clean sweep? Are we going to get a 4-0? I'm hoping not. I'm sure Young Yakov has a plan coming into this. Is going to be going for a hatch pool opener. Interesting. Young Yakov going for a delayed gas. He may even go for a gasless opener. I'm referring to a fast third hatchery. We'll keep an eye on the gas timing for the Zerg play. Yeah, so we would have taken a gas by now. Yeah, we're going gasless. The greed, Papi. And Strange confirms. Strange, he confirms the opener. But can we punish it? So what I'm referring to specifically is 0 gas for Young Yakov. By taking 0 gas, this leads into a very fast third hatchery and leads into late link speed, late tech in general. Does mean that we're vulnerable, and there we go. Double gate opener out of Strange. With a double gate opener, we're going to be aggressive with Adepts. First 2, then 4, then potentially even 6. These vanilla Adepts can do quite a lot, especially if your opponent doesn't have link speed. We'll see if that's what we go for. We'll see how much damage Strange can get done. We'll see if he can punish the greed of Young Yakov. As Young Yakov is still not taking a gas. Likewise, still has not taken the third base, but should be doing so momentarily. There we go. Third hatchery is on the way. So just a this is as greedy as you can be as a Zerg player. Like, this is like you don't get much greedier than this other than a faster third. Gasless from Young Yakov. We have our first 2 Adepts on the way. Again, with that 2-gate opener. We do have Adept Aggression. Slow Lings do slip in, though. They will delay the push, ideally. Getting a full scout. Young Yakov is aware of the 2 gateways, so Young Yakov should be making extra Lings back at home. Should be. As you can see, Strange is investing into the 3rd and 4th Adept as well. Is doubling down, but he's actually going to be... yeah, this is actually going to be a delayed push because of these Lings. We're busy chasing them down. And every second does count. As we're giving Young Yakov more time to mass up more Lings, mass up more Queens, and defend. Oh, he's doing it again. Oh my, he's doing it again, Papi. Double Stargate. I imagine Mass Phoenix for the 2nd game in a row. Technically, we could go Mass Void Ray, but again, Mass Phoenix is a little bit more modern nowadays. It's a little bit more flexible as well. As Adepts, they shade into the main, they focus on the Lings, but what about the mineral line? Hey, we're going to focus on the Adepts. Yeah, rough shade for Strange. He's at an Adept, has reinforcements. We'll shave off these Lings, and will force these gases at the 3rd. Some okay damage, but we're hoping for more. We're looking for drone kills. Meanwhile, here comes the scout, Young Yakov. This time he confirms. He gets eyes on the Stargates, he gets eyes on the Phoenixes. Much better scout here from Young Yakov. So this time he's fully aware of what's going on. As a result, this time Young Yakov won't make an early Roach run and not make use of it. He won't invest into, these early Lings and Roaches. Instead, we can drone up, get into a lair, and get into Hydra Tech. Oh, much faster reaction though. Okay. I'm all aboard. So, Strange, because he got scattered after killing the Overlord, that's a very fast Robo and Twilight Council. Much faster than the previous game. So he's already switching his tech. He knows that this time the Phoenixes are going to be less effective, and this time he has to switch as fast as possible into something different, into something ground-based. Meanwhile, Lings, they're going for the surround. Slow Lings, they do catch an Adept. Now, this should not have happened anywhere near as quickly. So one Adept goes down. We deny the third. Nice moves here with these Lings. Oh, that's a gateway explosion. That's a lot of gateways. We're going for mass Glaven. Oh my god. Wait, what? We're going for 8 gates Glaven Eps. That's a lot of gateways. 2-base all in. 2-base all in as Strange. At the same time, we do see Young Yakov investing into a lair. That is Numas has Carapace. Young Yakov, he's going for a German Taxi. A variation of German Taxi. He's going for Lings, Queens, and Dropper Lords. Bailey Nest on the way as well. And who do I favor? If it was just Ling Queen, I would favor Strange, but with a Bailey Nest, suddenly it's a little bit more complicated. Suddenly, if the Bailings connect, then we can shut down the Adepts real quick. Lings poking in, they get eyes on some of the gateways. God, that's 7 gates? 7 gates all the way, that's gonna be a 9-gate all in. Oh my god. Okay. Now, as long as we have Bailings, right? As long as we have Bailings morphed in, then we're gonna be okay. Young Yakov, he's gonna be okay here. Did we finish the Bailing Nest? I did see it earlier. Ooh, drones are getting caught out, Adepts are spotted. And I'm hoping we did finish the Bailing Nest, otherwise we might be in some trouble. No, okay, it's on the way, it's on the way. There we go, 9 Bailings in production. We just had to buy time for those Bailings. Lings, they come in for a surround, they're gonna get shut down by the Adepts. Okay, the Lings, they melt. We're getting into the middle line. 6 drones are going down. Bailings do morph in, and they connect. No splits, no reaction, massive connections. And we shut down the first wave of Adepts already. And remember, Strange is all in. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Strange. He has to end the game here and now with this army. And it's not good enough. Does shade into the main. Good positioning. Is getting some economic damage, but still not enough. Yeah, the earlier lack of split is killing Strange. So we're bringing in more Adepts, 9 at a time. Roach Warden is done. Some of the Bailings are getting picked up, but yeah, alas, we just don't have momentum. Not anymore from the Protoss. We pick up every single Bailing. Again, slick moves here out of Strange, but it may just be too little too late. Bailings, they surround, 1 Bailing connects. Roaches have arrived. And Young Yakov defends. He does defend. He shuts this down completely. And the only thing we can do for Strange is just warp in Adepts. That's all he can do. Hope and pray that we somehow bypass the main army, get out of control, but it's not going to happen. And more Roaches trickling in, and Young Yakov, he's going to shut this down. And we fight back. Platinum are 8, they were down 3-0. And we are looking to bounce back here and now. We shut down the Prism, no more reinforcements. It is the last wave of Adepts. Bailings, once again, they connect. Oh, we have Lings in position. GG gets called, and Young Yakov takes the game and fights back. GG, well played. A bittersweet smile there. I'm sure he wanted a 2-0. It's okay, Papi, it's okay. GG, well played, Lancer the edge here, but they're close. They are close, they're pretty neck and neck. I would say they're, actually, I was gonna say they're like, maybe the top 2 players in China, just behind Oliveira, but we have Firefly, we have Jeshi, we have... So I don't know if I can make that statement. Regardless, Coffee is an amazing player. And Coffee is coming up next versus Goblin. Now, the thing about Coffee here is that he's hyper aggressive. He's a very aggressive player. He comes in with some all-ins, with very specialized builds. He does shape the meta at times. There have been moments where he comes up with builds and everyone embraces them. The Korean scene latches onto them as well. It has happened in the past, and yeah, Coffee, he does like to think outside. There we go. We have our players getting ready. Game 1 is going to be on Post-Youth. We're loading into this map once again. Now, I hope that you enjoyed the Phoenixes in the last game. I'm sure we're going to be seeing some Phoenixes here out of Goblin. I'm sure at some point. Doing his pappy proud. But here we go in the bottom left-hand corner. We have Goblin for Platinum R8. And in the top right, we have Coffee for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. Still younger than most Jakob. Is that true? How old is he? How old is Jakob? Jakob. I'm gonna expose him. 20 years old. It's over. Oh my god. He skipped Teen Jakob. He skipped it. He's young adult Jakob. Ah, I like it. Let's go. Young adult Jakob. But now we're settling in. We're settling in, and we'll see how greedy our players are going to be. Shall see. As for now, it is going to be a single gas opener out of Coffee, going for a Rax Expand. Again, we're loading into Post-Youth. We have a Pocket base, or we have, I should say, a Hybrid base in the main. So, with that, it's typically a game of greed early on. Take advantage of the base itself, and settle into the mid-game. Gotta go hard. Take care, Pappy. Take care. 20. Oh, geez. Retired. Collecting Social Security. Sag. It's over, Pappy. It's over. Oh, no. Much love to young Yakov. Much love. To Mr. Yakov. Ah. But now, yep, there's that CC. So again, economic opener out of Coffee. Rax Expand. Likewise, Goblin going for a Gate into Nexus as well. Gate Nexus into Cybercore. Is settling in. We're just easing our way into this game, and we'll see if Goblin does embrace something like a Stargate or a Twilight Council. Again, Post-Youth is an interesting one just because you can be hyper greedy, but at the same time, the rush distance by ground is very short. Very short rush distance by ground. So because of that, it may be a little bit too greedy to open up Stargate. As I say that, there it is. Stargate opener out of Goblin. The beginning of Phoenixes, I would imagine. Not unheard of to go Oracle first, but that is typically done by more aggressive players. Phoenixes, I'm sure, on the horizon for Goblin. As the Reaper dips in, but the Scout is denied. Goblin does zone Coffee away. Behind this, Coffee getting into his Rax Expand into a 1-1-1. Interesting, going for the Proxy Starport, setting up for a Hellion drop. Again, Hellion drops can be brutal on this map. Hellions, three of them do, of course, one-shot probes, and if they line up, a mineral line can be eviscerated real quick. The barbecue can be real. We'll see if Goblin can piece it all together. Reaper goes for the dive. We have yet to scout the tech, and the Reaper, do we get behind the mineral line? The probes! The probes, they zone the Reaper away. We do not scout the tech. We don't see what's going on. We don't confirm the Stargate. Do not confirm. So nice moves there out of Goblin. Meanwhile, Coffee, undeterred, is still committed. Medevac is on the way. Hellions are rallying across the map. We're getting ready for our drop. And we'll see if Goblin can react in time, if he can respond. And it minimizes losses. Hallucination does confirm that the tech is missing. Where's the Starport? Where's the Starport? Where's the second Rax? Should be somewhere. Hellions, they dive in. Only 3. Okay, we don't go for the 4th. Ooh, probes do line up for a moment. 3 workers go down. 5 workers even. As the other Hellion just walked in. Okay. Getting 6 probe kills, and we're not done. We're diving into the main. Looking for more damage, but alas, the Hellions will be lifted, and we will clean this up. We will shut this down. Getting 9 probe kills. Not bad. Yeah, just a 9. Medevac is racing back home. Back at home, we can see Coffee massing up his Marines, getting into Cyclones. No Vikings, going for the Liberator across the map to harass. Coffee doubling down on the aggression. Love to see it. The Liberator will siege in the main. As the Phoenixes move out, we don't have that much of him to defend. And probes will fall. Back at home, the Phoenixes don't get any counter damage. We get 4 probes across the map, forcing the recall. To force the recall. And so far, so good. Coffee takes a worker lead, which is something you don't often see here, but he does take that economic advantage, settling into his 3-1-1. Stim is on the way, +1 as well. Meanwhile, Goblin just working towards his eventual tech of choice, the Robo, the Twilight Council. I assumed it was going to be Phoenix Colossus. Did assume. With that Twilight Council, we can get into charge lots to help support the army. To help get into those Colossus. Going for the Prism first, actually. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Goblin to get some counter damage done with these Phoenixes and with drop play. Stepping in. Catching Marines. Not bad. Going for the Cyclone. Yeah, the Bio Army having a hard time keeping up. Remember, Stim is not yet done. The Marines, they cannot keep up. Charge is on the way. No base, so it's going to be Phoenix charge lots here from Goblin. So additional gateways are being thrown down. Phoenixes, they rotate, they deny the 3rd CC, they delay. More importantly, they confirm, right? They confirm there's a 3rd base in production, so now Goblin is aware that Coffee is not going for an all-in. Coffee is trying to set up for a longer game. As the Goblin is camping that starport, the Marines are in position. Stim, we're still 10 seconds away. Oh, and the Medivacs, they barely will escape. Just barely. Stim now finishing up. And the Phoenix is going to be that much less effective now. Now that we have Stim. We have to respect the buyer, respect the Marines. I say that we will catch reinforcements. Nice moves. Oof, so we barely do get away. Behind this now we have the Bay, working towards Colossus. Has been delayed in favor of Charge. See if that was the right call. So we're building up towards Colossus. I'm building up towards it. Coffee taking his 3rd. Goblin does confirm. I scout here from Goblin. Making sure there's no crazy cancel or anything like that. Scan confirms the Bay that's on the way. Towards we do shut down the Widow Mines. Yeah, the Observer paying off. That does tip Coffee off. Now he knows that there's an Observer somewhere. Doesn't know where. Goblin catching 2 SCVs. Does defend the main army, catching a medevac. Yeah, and Coffee just cannot keep up. These Phoenixes, they're just so mobile. Ah, we missed the Observer! No shot! The Observer behind the army, not in front. Ah, that was a wasted scan, and the Observer does catch the drop as well. Goblin, he sees all, he knows all. And he will catch those medevacs. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, full medevac goes down, 2nd medevac, 3rd one as well. Ah, brutal losses for Coffee. Again, that Observer is the MVP. Did allow for this to happen. We do catch a Phoenix, but that's still not a worthwhile trade for Coffee. At the same time, Warp Prism into the main, going for a massive Zealot Warp in. 2nd Robo's on the way for double Colossus. And Coffee is out of position, not ready for that Warp in. Goblin pushing in already. He has no chill. And GG gets called. There's just nothing left here for Coffee. Goblin will take game number 1. GG. Oh, he's drinking the coffee. That's like the most classic. Was missing the piggy up. True. Did miss it. But here we go. In the top right hand corner, we have a Goblin for Platinum R8. In the top left, we have a Coffee for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. Settling into game number 2. Original was parting eating sun chips because his name means sun. Yes. Taeyang. Taeyang translates to sun. I think it translates to either sun or solar, but like, you know, sun nonetheless. But true. Goblin Slayer anime person in the background. True. True. There you go. There you go. That's all we need. I think one of my favorites was I think when we casted Azure versus Crimson, I think Azure had like an A4 piece of paper of the color crimson and like tore it up. Cause that's what you do. Beautiful. Battle of the colors. As we are settling in. Now the peak celebration, there were two if you remember. If you're a fan of Pro League, there was parting using the ruler to snipe Flash, right? Because Flash is known for his ruler. So there was that. And then there was also, if I remember, Stork. I think his nickname is Dinosaur. And they had someone dressed up in a dinosaur costume. And then was it Flash who like killed the dinosaur with a ruler? Like used the ruler as a sword? Am I crazy? Did that also happen? Those are the two celebrations that stick in my mind from Pro League. The ruler snipe and the dinosaur slayer. Good times, good times. Bring the celebrations back, Bobby. Bring them back. Yeah. So now we're settling in. It's going to be another Stargate opener by Goblin. This is a bit of a riskier move. So typically when you go for Stargate openers, they're more ideal on larger maps because it's harder to punish Stargate play if your opponent's opening up economically. You know, maps like Alcyone, maps like Side Delta, that's where we typically see Stargate play. On smaller maps like this, where your opponent's more likely to open up aggressively with double gas, then it's riskier to open up with Phoenixes, as you are vulnerable to earlier pushes. So this is a bit of a risky move here by Goblin, but it is iconic, right? Goblin, he's known for his Phoenixes, he's known for his Stargate. It's what he does enjoy, it's what he does prefer. We'll see if we can get away with it. Ooh, as this is the beginnings of a 2-base all-in. Okay, so Coffee did open up with a faster factory. We have a second Rax on the way. What I'm referring to here is that Coffee has not thrown down a starport. Coffee is going, well, as we do, trade with the Marines. 2 Marines going to be going down. Cyclone does arrive. We will shut down the Adept. Cyclone will defend. What I'm referring to is that with the delayed starport, that means we're prioritizing Stim. Stim is going to be very fast. Compared to last game, insanely fast Stim is on the way for Coffee. Likewise, bioproduction as well. And yeah, we're going for a third Rax before starport. And with this is the setup to go for a 2-base all-in and pull the boys. So would not be surprised if Coffee pulls the boys with the Stim timing. Ooh, Goblin going for the third base before Robo. Very greedy here out of Goblin. Very greedy play. Delays his tech in favor of the economy. And we'll see if Goblin gets away with this, as Goblin has yet to confirm the build of choice. Goblin doesn't know what Coffee is up to. And honestly, Coffee, he's primed. He's primed to go for an all-in. For now, we're still waiting for our first, second, and third tank. So we're building up the tank count, building up the Marine counts. We may decide to move out without Medivacs, period, or we may just go for a delayed starport into Medivacs and then we push with Medivacs instead. As Phoenixes are moving out. And again, very important that we scout the main. We need to get an eye on what's going on. We do dip in, we get eyes on the 2-1. The third Rax is hidden behind the main base, so it's going to be a little bit harder to determine what's happening. But Goblin does at least confirm that Stim is already on the way. He saw the researching tech lab. He sees the setup. And how do we respond to this? We need to slow down the push. With these pieces, we need to pick away at the Marines, at the tanks. There we go. We pull the boys. We're going for the all-in. We are not waiting for the Medivacs. It's all or nothing for Coffee. And Goblin, he's not set up for this. Shield battery is just now on the way. Was he too greedy, Papi? We do catch reinforcements. We do catch a couple of reinforcements. Not bad. Boys have arrived. We do catch another Marine. Again, whatever we can get. 2 more Marines. Not bad. This is what, like 8 Marines in total? Very nicely done. We scan ahead of time. We're diving on the main army. Bunkers are on the way. Now we forget about the bunkers. We just siege up. We just go for it. We go for the kill. Tanks, they focus down the Stalkers, focus down the shield batteries. The Bio Army, can we keep up with those Phoenixes? Oh, it's going to be close. The first tank is going down. And we've run out of SCVs. Oh, have we lost too much steam? Coffee, we have to keep pushing. Have we lost too much? We take down the shield batteries, yes, but we have slow lots warping in. Phoenixes, they come in from behind, going for the tanks. They're getting ready for the dive. They pick up one of the tanks. Charge is done. And Goblin, he's shutting this down. Cleans up the bio, shuts down the tanks. GG gets called. Ah, the quadruple G. As Goblin will take the series 2-0. We'll survive the all-in. GG, well played. Oh, no coffee. Oh, there we go. What I appreciate is how nonchalant that was. That it almost felt like he forgot about the coffee until the end. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Goblin. GG, well played. He survives the all-in. Again, so important. He picked up, I want to say it was around 8 Marines. Like 8 Marines in the process of the all-in. Was able to slow it down, able to deny any anti-air. And again, Coffee just took a little bit too long to get across the map, or just didn't have enough to break through that defensive line. GG, and with that, we have an ace match. We're going all the way to Game 7. It all ends here on Oceanborn. A best of 1. Best of 1 is coming up ahead of us. And who's it going to be? Now, when it comes to the ace players, I mentioned before, I do think of Lancer being the ace player for Mystery All Gamer, so Lancer feels like the obvious pick. From the side of Platinum R8, I feel like we have a little bit more leeway. I feel like the skill disparity between Goblin, Young Yakov, and Kelazur is a little bit lessened. Like, I think they're all comparable. And I feel like it comes down to who is feeling strongest on the day, who's feeling confident, and specifically, who's feeling confident against Protoss, right? I feel like we can counter-snipe. Again, I feel like Lancer is the more obvious pick, and because of that, Platinum R8 can think about it, they can approach this in a different way, and they can try to snipe Lancer. It's going to be wild if we pick Coffee. I mean, Coffee is another viable option, true, but after losing 2 games, considering kind of the ordering of the matches as well, it's also possible that Coffee is like a little bit, I wouldn't say tilted, but like, I don't know, even frustrated, right? Like, mental state does play a factor here after losing 2 games. He may not feel 100% to dive in for the ace match. We'll see. We shall see. There's the flip side. The other side of things is that maybe Coffee feels like frustrated and upset and like wanting to redeem himself. You know, he knows he's a good player. He knows that he's good enough to bring down a player like Goblin. Coffee might feel like he, you know, he wants that chance at redemption. Possible. But we'll see. We shall see. Fun fact, no one predicted this. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went 1-1. I think I went 1-1 for all 3 matches. But yeah, no one predicted this specific scoreline. Crazy. I mean, we had some upsets. I don't think anyone predicted Goblin to 2-0. I don't think... I think maybe some people predicted Lancer to 2-0. I think there was some predictions for that. But crazy, man. Crazy. Was it not a team that ate grapes when they won, or do I remember wrong? Yes. That was the Great Boys. That was Starving Camels. The Starving Camels. That was Firefly, Papi, Firefly. That was last year. For those that are curious, there was a Chinese team called the Starving Camels. This was before Firefly got picked up by Platinum Heroes and then Offside Esports. And their logo was a camel initially eating cactus, which evolved into a camel eating grapes. And their players, they popped off. Like, they were the fan favorites. Like, there were a lot. Like, I was a Starving Camel fan. They had a lot of fans. They had some amazing matches. That was peak WTL. And yes, they had grapes. It's beautiful. Cool. Here we go. We are stepping in. Starving Camels were a great team, so they missed. Yeah. They were amazing. I missed them, Bobby. I missed them. I mean, Firefly, he still gets plenty of showtime just because of because I would say he's the ace player of Offside Esports. True. But they have had a rough performance so far this season. Regardless, we're getting ready here for the ace match. Who's it gonna be? Does anyone in the chat, what do you guys think? Goblin, Young Yakov or Kelazur? Who comes out as the ace? Is it a PvP between Goblin and Lancer? Is it going to be the PvP? Let's find out. Let us find out. What do you have for us? 100%. 100%. Oh my god. No rematch between Goblin and Coffee? There's no rematch between Kelazur and Lancer? I'm leaning towards the PvP as well. I'm leaning towards it. We'll see. Whew. Regardless, it's going to be a best of one. Best of one on Oceanborn. It all ends here. All ends on this one map. Let's go. Oh, we have our picks. Oh wait, oh my god, wait, what? This was not an option, Bobby. It is gonna be Goblin, it's not gonna be Lancer, it's gonna be the Taiwanese Protoss player, Lemon. Okay, let's go. For those that are curious, when it comes to your ace pick, you don't have to pick a player that played. It just has to be a player on your roster. Just a player on your roster. If they're available, they can play, and Lemon is our choice. Now, Lemon has been popping off. Lemon has been really leveling up when it comes to the Southeast Asian region. He's been looking more and more impressive. Do I favor Lemon as a pick over Lancer? I wouldn't. I'll be honest. Like, this is, as much as I love Lemon, and we've casted a lot of Lemon on this channel, Lancer still would have been my go-to, so I'm curious. I was talking about, like, the counter pick. I was talking about the snipe, you know, sniping Lancer, for example. If we pick Lemon, it has to be for a good reason. It has to be that Lemon has a specific build to whip out, right? Right? Like, in PvP specifically, I'm referring to. I'm curious. I'm ready. Mystery gamers. Sorry, mystery all gamers. They're cooking, Papi. They're cooking. Let them cook. Let them cook. Show us what you got. Is this when Lancer, he was stepping up to the stage, and then Lemon comes out with a steel chair, he knocks Lancer out, takes control of his PC, jumps in, the Colossus out of nowhere. Let's go. Okay, Papi, let's go. I'm ready for it. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Goblin for Platinum R8, and in the bottom right, we have Lemon for Mystery All Gamers. Whew, let's go. 11 PP has got better than Max Packs. True. Better than, I mean, he is basically Max Packs. I mean, look at this. Lemon, he doesn't have a webcam. No cam for Lemon. He is a Colossus. But it could be Artanis in that Colossus. It could be Max Packs. True. Could be one of the same. Everyone thought Max Packs was from Denmark. No. He's from Taiwan. That's the real twist. Max Packs, the Taiwanese Protoss, confirmed. Let's go. As for now, we are going to be settling in. It is going to be our initial double gas opener into, I imagine, 2 gateways. We'll keep an eye on our probes. We'll keep an eye on any kind of crazy proxy play. I'm sure that Goblin is going to be very paranoid coming up against Lemon. Like, Lemon is a pick from out of left field, right? It's a wild pick for the ace player, so I'm sure that Goblin is going to be on his toes. As we have our initial 2 gates, and no one is opening up with a gate expand or a gate cyber opener. No one is crazy enough to pull a Max Packs. Not in the ace match. Not in the ace match here, as Goblin coming in with a probe scout. Both players are going to be looking for their second pylons, and we can see that the second pylons, I mean, the player's about to confirm as well, they have not been proxied. They are in the main base, no proxies whatsoever. Everything is looking by the book. Everything is looking as it should here in this PvP. No proxy, no fake proxy either. We're settling in. It's going to be a double Stalker opener out of Lemon. It's going to be Stalker Sentry out of Goblin. Goblin's opener is a little bit more macro oriented. It does give you some scouting information, very defensive as well. Lemon's opener is more aggressive. With double Stalker, we can follow this up with a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well, move out across the map and try to out-trade and out-control your opponent. So we'll see if that's the case. We'll see if we do follow this up with additional Stalkers. For now, both Stalkers have arrived. And should be vying for map control. Lemon following it up with the Sentry. Okay. So with the Sentry follow-up, it is just going to be for scouting information. Again, a little more passive follow-up here out of Lemon. Which means we're settling into our 2 bases. We're settling into our 2-base setup. Safety shield battery on the way for Goblin. Again, he doesn't know if there's more Stalkers on the way, so taking this very seriously. Lemon does poke in, but he's just really kind of faking aggression or feigning aggression. Just puffing up his chest, poking in, but not really committing. Behind this, we have our tech of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council follow-up here by Lemon. And this is going to be scattered and confirmed by the hallucination. Goblin does confirm. And Goblin opening up Robo. Okay, we're going to have a very different dynamic. So, Lemon will have a more mobile army. Lemon is going to have more micro potential with Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, Goblin, actually not going for too much of a late Twilight Council. Goes Robo first into Twilight Council. So I should say there's going to be a window. There's going to be a timing, a very small timing where Lemon has Blink over his opponent. But again, not the largest of windows. Most likely, Goblin's going to be able to keep up and catch up. With the Robo opener as well, Goblin, he's just being secure against DTs because he scattered the Twilight Council. If there was a proxy Dark Shrine, for example, then Goblin would be safe. He will have detection. So just really safe play out of Oh my god, speaking of Dark Shrine! I was like, Goblin, he's going to be safe against DTs. He'll be fine. And then he's the one that throws it down instead. I mean, it makes sense because, do you see what I see? The same thing as Goblin. No Robo. No Robo from Lemon. Lemon has not played it safe. He does not have access to detection. These DTs can end the game. Oh boy. Lemon coming with hallucination does confirm the 3rd base, but he needs to get into the main. He needs to, and he will. Somewhat. Going back. There we go. Does confirm, does get eyes on the Dark Shrine, is aware, and he should respond with a Robo. There we go. Robo's on the way. Forge as well. We should be okay. Lemon does confirm, and it's going to take a little bit to get into his own observer. The War Prism's already moving out across the map. We are a little bit vulnerable, but for the most part, we should be able to survive this and get into the mid-game. Watch Goblin sip on a Sprite all of a sudden. Oh, let's go. No. He's going to bite on a lemon wedge, papi. Let's go. You know how it is. Take a shot of tequila. Get the salt. Take the lemon. That's how we do, pal. That's how we do. For now, the prism is going to be shut down. Oh my god. Barely does escape. Barely does get away. The one DT gets a probe, but not much more than that. We have cannons. We have observers. We're safe and sound. We are safe and sound. Again, Lemon taking it very seriously, going for the cannons as well, just making sure he has stationary detection. Both players getting to the 3-base setup. Both players with comparable worker counts. And with the initial Robo, of course, Goblin is able to embrace faster immortal production. The army is spotted, and this prism can dive in. No cannon at the 3rd. It is a little bit concerning. Again, Lemon, he's aware of that War Prism as well. He saw it earlier. And DT's waddling in. And there is an observer. Thankfully. Is the observer. We dive with the Immortal. And first Immortal is going to be going down. We have the Overcharge. The Overcharge just in time. Big overextension by Lemon. He bleeds out a lot of Stalkers. DT waddles in, gets 2 probes. Nice force fields out of Lemon. Does slice up the army. But that was still a better trade for Goblin. At the same time, we get into the main base. We depower the gateways. A bit of an Artosis pylon. Ay. Not the biggest of deals, but gateways are caught depowered. And the Goblin has momentum. He just won a fight. He's moving out across the map. He does have the supply advantage. Does have the army lead. And Lemon, he's in trouble. He is now in trouble here. Do we have any shield batteries at the 3rd? I hope so. If we have a shield battery, if we have an overcharge, it's still on the way. It's just going to finish up just in time. But the Immortals, they do so much to the back line. Boys, they have to be pulled. Overcharge is popped. Lemon, he dives in. Doesn't quite get the immortal. Nice juggling here at a goblin. Does juggle back. Nice target find. We do focus on one of the immortals, but we're still bleeding out so much. Probes are going down. Goblin, he holds his own. The second immortal has survived. And Goblin, he's breaking through. Is breaking through. 10 worker kills. Lemon will hold on with his own defensive immortal. Does hold. Does survive. Goblin rotating over. Does rotate. DT slips in. Does slip in. We do snipe the Prism. But we're bleeding out Stalkers. Stalkers are going down. Zealots, they're going to be able to catch the Immortal, though. Not a bad trade if it wasn't for this DT. Again, I'm a little bit surprised. We saw the cannon in the natural, but we never had a cannon here at the third, and we're punishing Lemon so hard for the lack of cannon. Just singular DTs waddling in. And Lemon, he's moving out. He's had enough. Catching up some Stalkers, not bad. These Zealots are doing well. Are doing well for themselves. Mortal has arrived, but oh, Goblin, he does pick those Zealots apart. Very nice blink control. Lemon rotating around, backing up. And we are trying to saturate our fourth base. We're trying to play catch up, but Goblin still has that economic lead that translates into a larger army. More blink Stalkers. Charge now on the way for Goblin. Lemon does have the upgrade advantage, but we're about to catch up in upgrades. +1 now done for Goblin. And we're just picking away at those Zealots, shaving them up. Trading Stalkers for Zealots, but that was still a lot of Zealots going down. There is going to be a small window where Lemon has +2 over his opponent, but again, it's only going to last a couple of seconds. Not the biggest of windows. The rocks are being knocked down. Goblin pushing forward. Lemon misses the main. Oh, he's not spot the army. The Prism up. Oh, we barely do snipe it. Prism goes down. And Goblin, he's caught out. As I say, that does catch reinforcements. Does outposition Lemon. Rotating over, trying to get the hell out of here. That was a nice moment for Lemon, but barely does not catch those Stalkers. Doesn't get the surround. Whew. And we can take a moment to breathe here. We can take a moment to breathe. Both players up to 71 workers, both players on 4 bases. Goblin now has charge lots, not just purely Zealot. Sorry, not just purely Blink Stalker, not anymore. Lemon does have the one Immortal. Can make the difference. Did just waste a blink. Time for charge lots are diving in. No Archons. Not for either player, to be fair. Goblin does chase Lemon back. DT's waddling in. Do we have a cannon? Oh, we do. Just the one. Shield battery should be able to keep alive a little bit longer. There we go. We have the overcharge. We will hold. At the same time, main armies clash. We snipe the Immortal. The Immortal gets caught out. And Lemon, he doesn't have enough. Yeah, Goblin is just overwhelming the main army. Catching out the Stalkers, cutting Lemon off. And it could be it here and now. I say that reinforcements have arrived. Lemon, he can hold on. Does have a comparable Stalker count, but pushing into a concave. And will barely hold on to his 5th. We hold, Pappy, we hold. But here come reinforcements, and at this point, it's just a numbers game. Goblin up 20 army supply. And the shield battery is not yet done. To take a moment here. +3 on the way for Lemon. +3 has not begun yet for Goblin. So if the game goes on any longer, no, never mind. We started up. It does begin +3. Goblin can dive in. Rotating over, head towards the 3rd. That one Archon coming into play. True, we did have DTs. Very tense moment here. Lemon trying to keep up with the army rotation. Can catch that Prism once again. And Prism goes down. We get the prison, but we lose a base. The Nexus, it does fall. Massive pickup. 4 base versus 4 base. Goblin taking a 5th. Is expanding. Likewise, he has the high ground. Has a concave as well. Lemon is pushing in. But he cannot push into this army. Not up this ramp. Does snipe the Archon. Yeah, but a brutal trade for Lemon. Bleeds out the Immortal. Ay, ay, ay. And brutal loss. At the same time, goes for his own dive. It trades out the Immortals. Zealots have arrived. Lemon gaining some momentum. Just gaining a bit of momentum. Re-expanding. I don't think Lemon has spotted the base on the right-hand side. Not yet. Don't think he has spotted it. And he can't do much about it anyway, as he bleeds out so many Zealots. Again, Lemon, he has to rely on some counterattacks or run-bys to try and distract the main army, get some economic damage done. Alas, he's just been trading with the main army of Goblin, and it just hasn't been working well here for him. Does get eyes on the base, but prone to getting surrounded. Yeah, Goblin, he collapses in, catches out the Stalkers, and this may just be it. Zealots from one end, Stalkers from the other, and we're chasing Lemon down, and there's no way out of this. We force the recall. Oh, a brutal loss. Lemon does make it back home, but he barely has an army standing. And this series has been very back and forth, has made it all the way to the ace match, but Goblin, he's popping off. Is going to snowball out of control, even with the cannons and shield batteries. It may not even matter. Goblin taking it slow, backs up, waits for reinforcements, goes for a warp in before diving forward. Semi keeps the prison back. And can set up for a warp in, overcharge is popped. The overcharge does hold the line for a moment, but here come the reinforcements, and Goblin, he's still breaking through. Do snipe one of the Immortals, but there's still one more in the back line. And it looks like Goblin, he has done. He's broken the back. GG gets called, and Goblin will take the game and the series 4-3, and will win it all for Platinum R8. GG, well played. Goblin winning every single game here in this series, popping off 3-0, Papi. Oh my god. GG, well played. Reprising his role as the ace for Platinum R8. Congratulations. Congratulations here to Platinum Heroes and R8 Esports. They do take the series. It was a close one though. It was a very close one. It was a very close series that went all the way to the ace match. I wonder what the reasoning was why we didn't have Lancer, right? Like, we were all expecting it. We were all like, yo, 100% Lancer is coming out as the ace player. Instead, it was Lemon. And I mean, no shame to Lemon. Lemon, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I was still favoring Lancer there instead, and maybe he was unavailable, right? Like, maybe Lancer, after his series, he was like, you guys got this, and you know, he went out, and I would imagine that's the case. I would imagine that Lancer was unavailable, and yeah, they did rely on Lemon instead. As a result, he just wasn't able to bring it here to Goblin, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Platinum R8 will take it, and now we're going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a short break here. When we return, we will have our final best of 7. We will have Team Vitality versus Psystorm Na'Vi. We spoke about Max Pax earlier, and he should be making his appearance here for his team for Psystorm. Going to be going on a short break. We'll see you guys soon in a couple of minutes. What scene am I going for? Hold on.
赛事报道、精彩的视频剪辑、有趣的主播八卦、定期的抽奖福利以及爆笑的节奏和评论。关注 SCBoy 官方公众号，365天每天更新，让你与20万猛男一起更便捷的享受我和黄哥给大家带来的快乐。不要告诉别人哟。
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to WTO World Team League 2024 Summer Contest Round 8, day number 2, with our second series of the night. We just wrapped up with Platinum R8 versus Mystery Old Gamers, and now we've arrived with the finale, the final series of the night, with Team Vitality versus Psystorm Na'Vi. Oh my god, the lineup spot, but we have Solar versus Geralt, Maru versus Spirit, and Ryung versus MaxPax. Team Vitality, of course, they are the number 1 seed. They are undefeated. They are undefeated in this team league. They are the number 1 seed, number 1 in the standings. Can anyone stop them? They are the reigning champions. Psystorm Gaming, they have a chance. They do have a good chance here. They have a solid lineup, very solid lineup here with Geralt, Spirit, and MaxPax. On top of that, based on the lineups here, it's going to be a rough one, though. It's going to be an interesting one as we have our first 2 players, Solar versus Geralt. Solar coming in as one of the best Zerg players in all of Korea. Geralt has been on the rise in the European region as an upcoming Protoss player for quite some time. Has been, of course, leveling up and can compare here to Solar. Fun fact, we casted ESL Americas earlier today, and Geralt did bring down Trap to make it further into the quarterfinals, but that was a PvP, and here we go, we're diving into a PvZ. Bottom left, we have Solar for Team Vitality. In the bottom left, we have Geralt for Psystorm Na'Vi. Whew. Top right is what I wanted to say earlier, but I got there. Here we go. We have our ZVP Solar versus Geralt. Again, Team Vitality, they are a team of champions. Solar and Maru are heavy hitters. You have Ryung, who is a TVT specialist. If you remember, Ryung, he was the Clem Crusher last season. Maru couldn't stop Clem. Solar couldn't stop Clem. Ryung could. TVT is a matchup where Ryung can take it to even the best Terrans in the world. Even the best Terran in the world is afraid of Ryung's TVT. But he's going to be up against MaxPax later on in the series, in the broadcast, so do look forward to seeing how that compares and how that does turn out. For the time being, Solar being hyper aggressive. Oh my god, Solar taking the forward base. It's been a while. It has been a while here, but Solar with that forward expansion, as you can see on the minimap, it has a wrist-festing gas geyser and it is primed for a roach all-in. Specifically what this does, that base gives you access to faster gas with the high yield gas geyser. It spreads creep very quickly across the map and it lends towards a queen walk for a queen roach based all-in. Doesn't have to be the case, but it does kind of lean into that. And we haven't seen this build in a couple of months. I'll be honest, this build kind of died off for a while. Like, it was very trendy at the start of the map pool. Then, because it was so played out, it died off, and now it might be back. It might be back. We'll keep an eye on Solar to see if he does embrace the all-in. Meanwhile, Geralt, for the time being, going for a gate expanded to Cybercore. We'll see how Geralt does respond. We'll see how he tries to punish this exposed base. We go. As the probe does get across the map, tasing away at those workers, being an annoyance, trying to force some inefficient mining. As I believe Geralt has confirmed the base, if not, he's about to. Yeah, he does now rally over, does confirm the hatchery that's been taken. Adept is being chronoed as we speak, and it's on Geralt to try and punish this base, to try to get some economic damage done. Stargate follow-up is on the way here for Geralt. So it is going to be a Stargate opener, going to be for Oracles. Standard play so far. Stargate is Oracle into a third base. And we'll see if Solar can protect that mineral line and minimize losses. We shall see. This one is more of a napping mode. Yeah, it's bench time, bud. CranKy for bench. It's beautiful. I did just wake up, for those that are curious. Did just wake up right before the broadcast. But so this is our second broadcast of the day. We casted ESL Americas this morning. Then I had like a 3-hour nap, and then jumped into WTL. And then we'll have another nap, and then we'll jump into some Code for Giants Cup later. And then we have another nap, and then we jump into Kung Fu Cup. Yeah, 2 broadcasts every day, Papi. Let's go. The StarCraft. It's real. Always StarCraft. But now we're settling in. We have our Oracle moving out, so the Adepts have yet to embrace or yet to really dive into a mineral line yet, but looks like 2 of them will threaten to dive into the main. Yeah, they do shade in, and Solar's out of position. Yeah, Ling's not quite at home. They're across the map. They're racing back. We don't quite kill any workers yet, but we do deny mining time. Not bad. Not bad, as we do force a recall. 1 Adept goes down. Oracles move out. So far, some decent damage dealt here by Geralt, but he's looking for more. Is looking for more. So he focused down another drone. Just the one. Catching. Oh, not quite another worker here at the natural, going for some larva instead. Meanwhile, Solar has yet to take the Recharging Gas Geyser. Has yet to take it, yet to embrace it. Still just focusing on mineral income. There we go. Gas is now being taken. And we'll see when and if Solar cuts workers. Oh, as we're bleeding out a couple of Lings. That is, Roach Warren has been thrown down. On a 4-minute 30 Roach Warren timing. A little bit early. Just a little bit. Too early here. But you can see the creep is spreading. Queens, they zone away the Oracle. And Solar is making his way across the map. Well, he's starting to with that creep. Just focusing on connecting his bases. More tumors are spreading. Solar does get supply blocked upon losing that Overlord, but that's going to be 5 Overlords on the way! Oh my god. It's a lot of Overlords. And I don't see any more drones. Okay, there we go. 5 more workers. Solar still building up towards 50 drones. Still building up his economy. And going for a lair as well. Okay, Solar, he's macroing up out of this. He's not going for an all-in. Yeah, he's still making more drones. He's settling into a longer game. Is making roaches, but it looks like that's just going to be for defense. We're not going to be committing. So we are building up our roach Ling force. Assuming that Solar drones up more than that, he's drawn up to 53, which is just under 3-way saturation. And he's, okay, yeah, he's making more drones. Is making more drones. Is applying pressure, that's true, but he's droning up. He's throwing an Eva chamber, taking more gases. Solar is working on that next step. Hoping to force an overreaction. Takes down a gateway. Can threaten another. Solar does back off again, just feigning aggression here. And Geralt, he's walling up quite heavily. We fully wall off. Walling off the ramp, going for the stasis trap. And honestly, Geralt, he's looking quite secure here. Catches a Ravager. Ravager goes down. Nice pick off here out of Geralt. Geralt taking a 4th, and he is so secure. He's fully walled up on 4 bases. And Geralt, he can just chill. He can just chill on 4 bases. He can expand on the right or left-hand side to take a 5th. Which will also be very secure. And he can just tech up from here. Likewise, Solo also getting ready for a longer game. We have a Hydrogen on the way. Infestation bit as well. Working towards Hive Tech. Working towards Lurkers. But we can embrace that, though. Geralt applying some pressure is going to get the Gas Geyser. The gas goes down. Creep as well. So far, Geralt trading well. Even catching a queen. Not bad. Is caught out, though. That's a lot of creep, and we can chase out these Stalkers. Yeah, bleeding out, what, 2, 3 Stalkers here. Not ideal. Army's out of position. We can threaten the 4th. And then we have a massive weapon of Zealots. Geralt will be able to hold on. able to hold. Likewise, force off a creep. Slow lots from behind. Lurker Den is on the way. We catch the slow lots. They're slow, bappy. Zealots, they get cleaned up, and yeah, that was a bit of a brutal loss for Geralt. Forced to recall over. Caught out of position. And really, Solo is just looking to trade. He's just trading with the army on a pretty low drone count, though. Make sure he's taking up into Lurker tech, but Geralt, he's on a full 4-base economy. Like, Geralt, he can afford these trades. Has to be careful, but can afford them. Yeah, blinking well against these roaches. Shield batteries are on the way. These shield batteries are a little bit late. I'm concerned about that, but for the most part, Geralt is holding on. And he's looking to outscale his opponent. Double Robo on the way for double Immortal. Solar just now droning up. Took him a while, but finally Solar, he's on 4-base economy of his own. Hive is done. Lurker upgrades are on the way, but we still need more time. And Solar, he's going to be on the receiving end of this aggression until he gets Lurkers. That's just the dynamic that we have here. So we're stuck back at home until the Lurkers pop out. Just snap an Oracle. Some Laozu connect. There we go. We have the first wave of Lurkers. 5 Lurkers on the way. You could definitely argue that these Robers are late for Geralt. But the Robers are now done, and now we're getting to Immortal production. They are on the way. Oh. Matchup's going up. Lurkers are revealed. And now we can just double down on Immortal Archon. And I do want to give the edge here to Geralt. I mean, sure, the supply is in favor of Solo, but the soup does lie. A lot of the supply is inflated because of those roaches. Going for a Nidus Worm. Let's go. Solar is maxed out. Catching out some of those Stalkers. Not bad. Does catch some Stalkers. Geralt doesn't want to fight out here. He's caught out in the open. Lurkers, they come in for a flank. Massive spine shots going off. The Immortals are exposed. Yeah, brutal fight for Geralt. Gets caught out, bleeds out, an Immortal as well. So you have the overcharge, but pushing into all these Lurkers. Oh, we cannot do this. Aye, aye, aye. Geralt, he gets punished hard. And Geralt, he plummets in supply. Not like this. Solar, now he has momentum, going for a Nidus Worm into the main. And Geralt, he's distracted. Yeah, every single Lurker does head for the Nidus. Storm is not done. And all the Nidus is denied. Nicely done. Geralt, he keeps up. Does keep up. Just down the Nidus. Expanding, taking another base, taking a 5th, another Nidus into the main. But yeah, Geralt, he has eyes on this. Will respond. Storm still halfway done. But Solar, he's gaining ground. He's maxed out. Has a massive amount of Lurkers, shutting down the initial production, or the initial static defense even. Getting on top of the base, even peeling off head towards the 5th. And Novas are going off, but no connections. 5th base is going to be denied. The 4th base goes down as well. 2 bases fall. Geralt, he was holding his own, but he took a brutal fight earlier, and now very quickly, things are escalating out of control. Solar is pushing in, going for the kill. Wedging himself in between the 3rd and the natural. Storm is done, but it might just be too late. Too little too late at this point. The Lurkers, they pop off against the Immortals. Oh my god. The Immortals stack up. Solar calming down, backing off. He traded well. Zealot counterattack across the map. Does pull Solar back home. Does give Geralt a little bit of breathing room, but he needs more than this. Again, he lost 2 bases. 2 bases, most of his Immortals. It is going to be an uphill battle here for Geralt. And now Solar, he has refined his army. He's gotten rid of most of his roaches. He mainly has Ling, Hydra, Lurker. Now has an efficient army. And knocking down those gateways. same time, he hits the 4th, and Geralt, he just doesn't have enough to defend both locations at once. Doesn't have the supply, Poppy. He's getting picked apart. Being pulled apart even left and right. Lurkers getting within range of the base. Probes are going down. 21 workers. They're rallying in. They're rallying into the Hydras. Oh my god. And we're getting up to 30 worker kills. Nova goes off. Only takes down 1 Hydra. And Solar, he shuts down the 3rd, pushing it even further. Going for the kill. Going for the natural. He even catches the Disruptor. And GG gets called. There's just not enough left. And Solar will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A very tense game. Quite back and forth, actually, for the most part. He's got his iced tea. Let's go. Was back and forth for the most part, but Geralt did take a brutal fight, if you remember, on the low ground outside of his 4th base, where he lost most of his supply, most of his momentum. Lost Immortals, lost Stalkers, and it was after that fight where Solo was able to just embrace his Mass Lurker to max out and pull Geralt apart. Up until that moment, Geralt, he was holding his own, though, is what I will say. Like, he was playing well, trading well even, harassing, shaving off Stalkers, shaving off Queens, shaving off Roaches, but did get out of hand. And it shouldn't be a surprise, this is often the case, if a Protoss goes down in a PvZ here in WTL, it is loser's pick, Dynasty. Dynasty is going to be the map of choice. Let's go. Now, the reason why Dynasty is often picked whenever a Protoss has free reign of the map pool is because of the goal base. There is a pocket goal base in Dynasty, a goal base that the Protoss player can take advantage of that Zerg players cannot. So, because of that, Geralt would have a boosted economy. Because of this dynamic, though, on Dynasty, it is very common to go for Roach all-ins. And here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have Solar for Team Vitality. In the top right, we have Geralt for Psystorm Na'Vi. But because of the dynamic, because of the map, Roach all-ins are very common. Roach-based play, very, very common here in ZVP. And we'll see if Solar embraces that as well. We'll keep an eye on Solar. Because we are going to be settling in. And yeah, we're going for the gold. So Solar, it's very common on this map, very commonplace to go for the gold base on the other side. The drone does threaten that. We have plenty of workers set up, and what do we go for? where are we expanding? Okay, Geralt, he checks the gold, and Solar will go for the standard natural base. Okay. Takes his natural. If he was going to be pylon blocked, he was ready to go for the gold, opted not to. Meanwhile, Geralt can take his own pocket base safely and securely. Geralt, he confirms the expansion. Can take his own. Likewise, Geralt also will be checking the timing of the gas, or the gas and the spawning pool. Can settle to our game. Interesting, Geralt actually goes for his own natural. He doesn't go for the gold. Interesting. It looked like Geralt was a little bit concerned, and yeah, he was already set up on the low ground. Was already set up. He was paranoid of a proxy hatch or a gold rush from Solar, and it wasn't the case. So Geralt won't have the best economic advantage he otherwise would have had. It feels like he psyched himself out a little bit. Now, he can still take the gold as his 3rd, true, but that's going to come into play later on. So we'll see how our players will approach this. As I'm sure Solar's feeling pretty good about this. Like, pretty content about the expansion that's been taken. Oh, and that's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Okay, bold move. Twilight Council open out of Geralt. We'll keep an eye on... Oh, I mean, we can't quite see his main, but if he pulls out a gas, it's going to be Glaives. Otherwise, it could just be a Dark Shrine opener. I say just a Dark Shrine opener because DTs aren't all in. It's just a way to take a bit of an economic lead and gain map control. Keep an eye on Geralt as the Twilight Council is about to finish up. And we'll see what kind of tech we embrace. Likewise, Adept threatening a Shade. There is that Robo follow-up, and we should be seeing a Dark Shrine momentarily. Yeah. As we have stayed in gas. Have stayed in gas. Adepts anything else. And there it is, Dark Shrine now on the way. We're just waiting for the first 150 gas for the tech structure. Is going to be that DT opener. With this, we can harass with Dark Templar. If they get scouted, if they get spotted, we can morph them into Archons and go for Archon harass instead. Can just be a very solid way to get map control as we settle into a longer game. Likewise, Solar just going to be droning up. Hasn't really seen much, going for safety spores. Ooh, does cancel them. That is a little bit concerning. Solar is being greedy. Just droning. I mean, he should recognize that something is wrong, that there is no Oracle, there is no Stargate. But he may just believe it's... I mean, if he thought it was Glaive Adepts, we should be seeing a Roach Warren. Yeah, spores are now on the way. Okay, good. Spores are now in production for Solar. One spore for every single mineral line. And they will finish up. They will finish up in time for the DTs. So Solar is okay. Is okay. Lair's on the way as well. Solar, I believe he doesn't have many links to work with, so the DTs themselves, they might be able to break through a spore. It's possible. But Queens are in position. We have a Transfuse. Can zone back those ETs. Nice kiting so far out of Solar. And nice control that the Queens survive. DTs forced back. And Geralt doesn't get any damage done. Behind this, taking the gold as his third. But Solar is poised to take the gold as his fourth. Ooh, as we're going for some DT Zealot harass. Okay, I was not quite expecting that. DT's waddle in. Lair is about to finish up. We will have access to Overseers, to detection. We drop in towards the fourth. We're towards the third. We do force the unburrow. Not bad. Spore does burrow in time, though. We shut this back. And we do shut this down. We force back the Prism. And we only get 4 drone kills. Not ideal. We get a 5th drone. That's a little bit better. But that was 3 Dark Templar. Sorry, even more than that. There's a lot of Dark Templar going down. Morphing in the Archons. Solar is keeping up. Oh, the drones are stacking! Oh my god. Drones, they did stack for a moment there. Alas, we do pull away in time. We do manage to defend. And we even trade well against these Lings. Not bad. Lings, they do struggle against these Archons. Shave them off. Droning up, but behind this, Geralt is not really taking any other major direction until these Disruptors pop out. Interesting. Going Disruptor, not Colossus. Catching up more Queens. Again, we're doing quite a lot with quite a little here. The Archons, they take down a Queen. They go for the Mineral Line. They can pick up another 3 drones. We barely keep the Archons alive. They're so low. The Prism as well. Oh my god. We get away. Geralt, he does manage to get away. Calm down. Shaves off 3 more workers behind this, embracing Disruptors, going to charge. Blink is done. Interesting composition here by Geralt. Very interesting. There's a lot of potential with Disruptors. As always with Disruptors, like they have potential for damage or they could fall in their face. We'll see how well the Novas will connect. We shall see contamination on the Robo. Let's go. Don't often see that. Hydrogen's on the way. Solar, he's gearing up towards Hydro Lurker Viper. Towards a more late game composition. Hive is now in production. Solar just embracing a longer game. Moving out with his initial Roach Ravager. Does get caught out. Archon's doing well, just buying time. Keeping Solar busy. Geralt is actually going to be pushing here. Okay. Is going to be pushing. We have 2 Disruptors. First Nova goes off. But no connection. There's 1 Nova left. And 1 Nova does remain. We don't want to waste it. Don't want to be caught without any Novas. The army rotates around. Ooh. While they do connect with the Archon. Nova takes down a handful of Roaches. Not bad. 3rd Disruptor has arrived. Just a very tense dance here between both armies. Lurker Den about to finish. I imagine Solo wants to wait for the Lurker upgrades before he really embraces them. We have Vipers on the way instead. We just snipe a Disruptor. 1 Disruptor goes down. Zelda coming from behind. But we have Hydras. Hydras, they do keep up. Reinforcements are on the way. It looks like Geralt, he's breaking through. He's barely breaking through the Roaches. Roaches are going down, but the Hydras, they have arrived just in time. Likewise, Zealot's coming in from behind. Yeah, they do flank the army. And Solar, it looks like he barely does not have enough. Very, very patient play here out of Geralt. Slowly, meticulously breaking through. Nova connects. He does connect, and can he break through into the mineral line? Reinforcements coming in. Solar, he's barely holding. It's close. And with these Zealots, it looks like the Protoss should have enough to just break through. Yeah, it does have enough. Lurker Den is done, but no Lurkers in production. Viper has arrived, does have 1 abduct. Solar barely holding on. And now what's scary here is that the momentum's going to swing very heavily in favor of Solar if he survives this. Because here comes the Lurkers. Not just Lurkers, these are Hive-Tech Lurkers. They're on the way. Geralt, he's running out of time. Does snipe 1. Novas, they somewhat connect. They graze the army. But the Lurkers, they have morphed in. We yoink the Disruptors. 1, 2 of them go down. 1 Disruptor left. And now with these Lurkers, Solar, he holds. He does hold on, and Geralt, he was pretty committed with this. Like, Geralt, he doesn't have any Skytals behind this, or doesn't have any additional tech to speak of. Does have a 4th base, but there we go. Now we have a Temple Archives on the way. But this was an afterthought. Geralt was pretty committed. He was committed, and now we have to fall back and try to work towards Storm and High Templar. Tech we're not ready for. And now Solar, he's getting a bit out of hand. Cells, they do get into the mineral line. Nova going off. DT's on the right-hand side. There is detection. There are Lurkers as well. But the Spore, is it going to go down? It's close. Oh my god, it barely survives. Barely does survive. Zelt's into the main, but Solar, he's in position. Protects the main base. The Spore is finally going to go down. Not bad. Take down the Spore. Main army pushing on the top side. I was going to say left, and it's like, it's not quite the left. Pushing towards the north. Mortals are amassing. Storm just now on the way. And Solar's about to max out. That's what's terrifying here. Solar, he's about to max, about to push before Storm is done. And it'll be impressive here if Geralt can survive this. If he can hold. We catch a straight Immortal. Moving forward. Pushing forward to snipe 1 of those Lurkers. Likewise, Zealot Rambai in towards the main. Drone's getting caught out. The Zealot Rambai doing quite a lot, actually. 3 drones, Hydras, Queens. Not bad. Forces back Solar. He races back home. You know what that means? That means Storm is going to finish. It's still like 20 seconds out, but it's going to finish. He's surviving. He gets 13 drones. Oh my god. 14. Where are they going down? 14. That's Zealot Rambai. It's the MVP. Keeping Geralt in this. Forces back the army. Gets 14 workers. Storm is now done. Geralt, he's keeping up. Is keeping up. Still building up more immortals. Still refining his army. +3 is on the horizon. Solar is pushing forward. Going for a split push, actually. Going for a Roach Ravager run by on the right-hand side. And Geralt doesn't have much in position. Doesn't have anything in position. Oh, but the Novas! Oh my god! 4 lurkers go down. Massive connections. But there's nothing to defend. Storms being thrown down. Massive storms on the Hydras. Will be sand in the storms. Like, Geralt, he's trading well with the main army, but he's going to lose his mineral line. Probes are falling. Yeah, late reaction, late response by Geralt. He will lose the base. And this is a good trade for Solar. He wanted to get rid of these roaches. And the time for roaches has come and gone. So a very nice trade for Solar. Roaches for a base. At the same time, we catch out some of these lurkers. Do we have detection? We do! Oh my god, we trade blow for blow. We catch 4 lurkers. There it goes. Oh, the friendly fire! Bit of friendly fire on the zealots. Less than ideal. But we still caught the lurkers. That's what's important. Another lurker going down. Oh, but there's a rough position here. We have lurkers on the high ground. Oh my, free damage! Oh my god. Geralt, get out of here. And just a rough position. Oh my, and that's a lot of high tempo. Okay, they're morphing into Archons. 4 Archons on the way. Geralt's rotating over. Let's rotate towards the left. Never not quite catching anything. It's 2 Novas on cooldown. A bit of a better connection here. Storm's going to be catching the Hydras. But the army is forced back by the lurkers. Geralt has to back off. 10 more lurkers on the way. But they're not ready yet. Still in production. Nice feedback here on the Viper. Never's going off. Catching 1 lurker. Yeah, these choke points are brutal. Ideally, Geralt wants to fight a little bit more out in the open. Avoid these choke points. DT counterattack does distract some of these lurkers, but that's 10 lurkers moving out. That's a lot of lunkers, papi. Yeah, the 10 lurker counterattack is going to be seen. Do we force a base trade? The lurkers know they're coming back home. Yeah, massive storms in the middle line. 9 drones go down. Geralt pulling back. Lurkers did return. The Novas! Massive connections. Oh my god! We catch a massive chunk of lurkers. Likewise, storms. They zone away the Hydras. Man, these Novas have been insane. How winning Geralt these fights. Novas once again, they catch 2 more lurkers. I mean, the lack of Vipers is really killing Solar. Like, that's how we counter these disruptors, with abductions, with yoinks. When we lost the Viper earlier, we haven't replaced it. Have not replaced that Viper. We catch out more Hydras. Lurkers are out of position. Lurkers trying to waddle forward, but the base is going to go down. Base does fall. Solar trying to catch out the army, setting up a surround. Or even a counterattack. How do we approach this? Gonna station bit under fire. Lurkers do race back home. A bit of an awkward position here for Geralt. Yeah, he's gonna bleed out a Disruptor. Disruptor goes down. Second Disruptor as well. Very chaotic movement here for Geralt. Just a really awkward retreat. Ooh, and where are the observers? Yeah, no observers, no detection for Geralt. Runs into lurkers, and this base is going to go down. Geralt trying to replace his observers, has to back off. Solar breaks out. Still a very tense fight, still a very tense game here. Geralt has a bank, Solar doesn't. Bear that in mind. Solar has invested quite heavily here into these lurkers. They get caught out. Oh my god. Do you catch a lurker? Observer coming in. I do like this out of Solar. He avoids the main army, goes for a counterattack, catching some High Templar. Ooh, doesn't quite. Do you respond in time? Massive recall. Geralt does recall over. I feel like now, especially because we're maxed out and we have a bank, now would be a really good time for Skytoss. For a Fleet Beacon and a Stargate. Like, now is the moment for that. For now, we're just embracing more of a Disruptor-based army from Geralt. There it is! Fleet Beacon, let's go! Fleet Beacon's on the way. Yo, he's thinking about it. He's getting ready. Oh, but can we get there? Solar going for a split push. Storms that catch out the Hydras. I believe we still only have one Stargate. No, we have a second Stargate as well. The lurkers, they have the high ground. Pushing up this ramp, gonna be difficult. Ooh, Disruptor goes down. Yeah, this is a rough fight for Geralt. He's gonna lose every single Immortal. Yeah, the Immortals are Disruptors. Geralt, he plummets in supply. That was a brutal moment. A brutal fight for Geralt. And Solar trading well, takes a Nova to the face, but he's threatening the production, threatening those Stargates. We have to hold. You have to hold on here. And that bank that Geralt was working with is not there anymore. Has a gas bank, but the minerals, not anymore. He is running out of those minerals. Moving around by collapsing in. Fleet Beacon is done. Oh, some nice Novas. Catching more lurkers. Not bad. Storms as well. Oh my god. Yes, Geralt, he is gaining ground. He's breaking through. The Immortals, they are bunching up though. Do we have another storm? Oh my god. And we zone away some of those Hydras, but Immortals are going down. Expensive losses here for Geralt. Likewise, Solar, he's also running out of money. He took so many storms to the face. We have reinforcements, and Geralt, he shuts down the main army, comes in from behind, and he's doing it. Geralt, without Skyjas, I mean, Tempests are on the way, but I don't think he needs it. He doesn't need the Tempest, not anymore. Cashes out the army. Solar, he plummets in supply. And we're denying a base. We're getting on top of the hatchery. Lurker goes down. Without lurkers, we can't defend. Yeah, only Hydras, only Lings. Geralt, he's done it. GG gets called. Geralt, he fights back and ties up the series 1-1. GG. Geralt had a cheeky smile there, but he looked exhausted. He was like, whew. Oh my god. That was the game, Poppy. Very tense game there. Very back and forth. Honestly, the MVPs there for Geralt were the Novas, right? We saw so many juicy connections from Geralt, shutting down so many lurkers over time that did add up, that did just allow Geralt to trade that much more efficiently. Did allow him to get breathing room, of course, and we spoke about it earlier. Solar, his big misstep there, I would say, is lack of Vipers. I mean, there's a bit of a give and take, right? Like, obviously, there were a lot of High Templar to help counteract them, but we only made the one Viper. If you remember, there was only ever one Viper, and it got feedback. It was killed like halfway through the game, and we never made a Viper from then on forward, and that never allowed Solar to have like the opportunity. Love TVT and Lao. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. I mean, TVT can be a lot of fun. It's It can be very positional based. It can also be very chaotic. I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to Maru. Like, is Maru going to spice things up? Is he going to ape it up and go for like Proxy 2x Reaper? It's possible. Very possible. Maru can be an animal like that, but we'll see. We'll see what he does embrace. As we are getting ready for our next matchup. Again, Geralt's already doing more than expected, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people assumed that Solo would take the 2-0, so for Geralt to have the series is crazy, and let's go! We have the unit once again! The fridge / AC / water heater / like hyperbaric like chamber, like let's go. As in the bottom left hand corner we have Maru for Team Vitality. In the top left we have Spirit for Psystorm Na'Vi. Let's go. Is Spirit in a new apartment? Is he somewhere different? He 100%. Bobby, where do we go? Spirit, interesting. I do know that Estrella and Trigger in Korea. I don't think Spirit went to Korea. But maybe he just moved his room, or maybe he moved apartments. It's possible. That's a new setup. Looking a little bit bare bones, but a new setup. We noticed, Papi, we noticed. Where's Spirit from? From Polonia, Papi, from Polonia. Poland. Likewise, Maru with his charging unit right next to him. It's where he does sleep. He like hops inside and charges up. Oh, rocking that massive bottle as well. Let's go. You know what's crazy? I don't know if you noticed this. Not just that Maru drinks from a bottle that's the size of his body, but every time he goes, like, he's on cams and he takes a sip, like, the bottle's almost empty. it's never full. We never see the bottle. It's always like a slither of water at the bottom, man. All the time. Never seen it full. Ay, ay, ay. But here we go. We're settling in. Settling into our TVT. It's going to be an economic open out of Maru, going for a Rax Expand. Meanwhile, Spirit opening up Double Gas. Double Gas opener out of Spirit. So with this, Spirit is going for faster tech. Maru is going for a faster economy. I mean, that thing's heavy when full. It is. I mean, look. If you're not gonna drink from it when it's full, then why don't you have a smaller bottle? Like, I'm just, I'm just saying. Do you think, like Maru, he's known for his massive bottle, right? He's known for it. Do you think it's the same bottle? Do you think he's had it like from like the start of his career? From birth? Do you think? As Reapers they do dance, Maru getting across the map does tank some shots with the SCV, but the SCV goes down and Maru has to back off. Will retreat and will barely escape as well. Clutch moves out of Maru. But isn't it? Maybe the bottle was small, but because like he was born with it, like it's grown with Maru. Like as Maru increases in body weight, like the bottle grows as well. Like it, it's possible. It's all coming together. As we are settling in. As a reminder again, Maru does have the slight economic edge. Meanwhile, Spirit's still working on his CC, still on the way. Behind this, getting into his own Cyclone production. And his own tech. Is this Spirit the Na'Vi Spirit as well? Yeah. It's on Na'Vi, pa. It's on Na'Vi. I mean, that's the team. It's Psystorm Na'Vi. Crazy. But for now, the game is going to be settling down. I mean, we're loading into Alkiono. There's a reason why Maru did go for a more economic build, is because the map is larger, does lean and lend towards longer games and more macro games as well. The third base and the fourth are quite defendable, so may as well embrace that. Spirit going to be moving out across the map. Maru has his Onaga. Maru does spot. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was Spirit with his Onaga. My apologies. Does move out. Behind this, third CC is on the way. Spirit with a much faster third base, so even though Spirit had a slower expansion, we'll have a faster third to catch up. That is one of the ways to help recoup and help recover with the otherwise economic disadvantage. You can see that Maru is up in SCVs. He's up 5 workers because of the faster CC, but because of the fast third, Spirit, he can keep up. He can catch up. So we're in for a long one, as far as we can tell. We're getting ready for a bit of a longer TVT. Cyclone drop does dip in, and so far gaining ground. We do have the defensive Cyclone for Maru. Nice juggling here out of Spirit, pulling away. Does pull back. Reapers diving into main. Ooh, but they do get shut down. And that is the second starport. Maru going for a 2-base all-in. Okay, we have greed from Spirit. We initially had an economic star from Maru, but that is a second starport. What does that mean? There is a 2-base all-in, which does rely on the second starport. The way this works is with the second starport, you pump into, or you just invest heavily into Vikings for air control, and then you go into a Liberator as well to flex that air control and to have dominance over the ground as well. Unless I'm crazy. Or is that the first starport? I could be... No, yeah, second starport. Yeah. Because we have a Raven. Meanwhile, the drop does come in. Did we scout the second starport? Or did Spirit get eyes on that? That's what I'm curious about. You can see that we're making 3 Vikings. We did! Oh, the Observer knows. He knows what to look out for. Shout out to Moku. Shout out to the Observer. But Spirit, he does confirm, and with that, we are setting up. Second starport's on the way. So this is how you respond if you're up against a 2-port all-in like this. You have to respond with your own second starport to keep up with Viking production. Bunkers are on the way. Starport as well. Spirit, he's getting ready. Bunker even on the high ground. And can Maru pull this off? Again, he got scouted. He's rallying across the map, making his way up the right-hand side. Disables are done for both players with their Ravens. We're making our way towards that main. Liberator's on the way. And we are within range of the production, but ooh, bit of miscontrol! And Maru, he bleeds out a tank. That's a massive pickoff. Tank goes down for free. For the time being, Maru does have the Viking advantage, and he will flex that. He will punish and bully back the Vikings of Spirit. Spirit responding with Cyclone production. Okay. Has Cyclones, has anti-air. Raxes are going down. We're containing our opponents. And Maru, he's transitioning. Maru, that's a third CC on the way behind this. On location. So Maru, he knows he cannot kill his opponent. He cannot kill Spirit. But he can contain, he can delay, and he can expand. Maru getting ground. He's within range. Oh, barely within range. Yeah, Spirit late to react. Does take a big volley to the face. Liberator has arrived. This is the power of the 2-port build. With that Lib, we can just bully back the tanks. Vikings pushing in. Oh, we have auto turrets. Auto turrets are throwing down. Disables on the Vikings. Interesting maneuver here from Spirit. He will force back Maru. The tank goes down. Just one tank left for Spirits, and Maru, he's breaking through. Even though Maru is expanding, like, he's still breaking through anyway. Like the all-in is still paying off. He's broken through the main army. He's pushing into the natural. The boys are being pulled in a moment of desperation. But we have auto turrets. And so many SVs going to be going down. Oh, I say that. So far, barely losing any. Spirit holds. Spirit does hold on. But remember, Maru was no longer all in. Remember, Maru, he was already expanding. And Maru with that economic lead. 57 workers of the 46 of Spirit. And sure, Spirit, he holds, but is behind. And we have some catching up to do. Sim about to finish off for Maru. Building up his Raxes. Rotating over. Still maintains that Viking lead. And with that one tank to defend Maru, he wants that tank! Oh. Catches the Vikings. Do have a scan. Keeping Maru at bay. We dive in. Do dive forward. Tank does siege up. Just in time. Raven goes down. Oh, massive pickoff. We snipe the Raven. Tanks are within range. We snipe the tank. And Maru looks like he's going to be forced back, but these are still better trades for Maru. He can afford them. He caught a Raven. He caught a tank. And Maru is still rallying across the map. Maru has no chill. Like, he just refused to back off. He's still in the face of Spirit. May have to calm down, though. As now Spirit has the Viking lead, but we're getting into the mineral line, and there's no WCS game hearts, so SCVs have been going down. Yeah, workers are falling. Now one Viking in the mineral line. Oh my god! Gets so many SCV kills. I want to say around 10. I want to say around 10 workers just went down. Maru finally backs off, but I mean, he still has his economic advantage, has his army advantage. 1-1 is on the way. Maru has the upgrade lead. And finally, Maru has to retreat, but really he's just building up and working on a 4th CC, building up his army, getting ready for wave number 2. Ready for that second wave. Spirit has been surviving, that's true, but like he's being outscaled. Being outscaled as time goes on. Getting turrets, he's got the one tank on the high ground. Which doesn't bode well. There we go, second tank is coming in to reinforce. Maru, he makes his way up the ramp, he does siege up. Yeah, Spirit just barely out of position. We dive on top of the tank. Bold move out of Maru. GG gets caught as we snowball out of control, and Maru takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Maru will take a lead here. And honestly, Spirit didn't have a bad start to the game. Like, he was able to be aggressive. He was not afraid to spice things up in a series. And here we go in the bottom right-hand corner. We have Maru for Team Vitality. And in the top left, we have Spirit for Psystorm Na'Vi. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in. Keep an eye on our players. Maru chugging down that water. Again, if you want to play like Maru, hydrate, papi. Drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of agüita. When you get a haircut, you see the apartment for free. True, 2 for 1, papi. 2 for 1. Let's go. Yeah, we're ready with the hydrate, papi. Let's go. Make sure to drink plenty of water. And H2O. And that's what makes Maru stand out above the rest. That giant bottle. Keeps him hydrated. As we are setting up once again with the same builds that we had in game 1. What I'm referring to, Maru once again going for a Rax Expand, a single gas opener. Meanwhile, Spirit once again, just like game 1, going double gas. So Spirit is going to be the aggressor, Maru is going to be the defender. At least initially. If you remember, this double gas opener in game 1 led into a double Cyclone drop from Spirit, which Maru did defend. And then that led into Maru going for the 2 base all-in. And we'll see where our players take us this time. Specifically, Spirit. Like, after this opener, my eyes are on Spirit to see if he goes double Cyclone again. He could go Reaper Hellion. He could go even for something crazy like a faster Banshee or a faster tank into a tank drop. Spirit does have options. Keep an eye on him. As Maru moving in with his first Reaper and SCV. The goal here is for the SCV to tank the first shot. And then for Maru to out-trade his opponent, but the Reapers do clash. Oh. Maru going for the building SCV. Will delay the expansion, not bad. But has to respect the army. And ooh, big overextension. Maru, he bleeds off the SCV and the Reaper as well. A bit of a reaction there on cams from Maru. Not too happy about that. Does overextend. Behind this, Maru, his own CC should finish up in time, but he's going to be vulnerable to the aggression of Spirit. And Spirit, how does he follow this up? Starport, additional Reaper on the way. Maru has the high ground. Oh, he's in position and he punishes Spirit. Yeah, Spirit face checking the ramp. Bleeds out a Reaper. Rotating over. Oh. Not bad picking off some of these Marines, but a nice spread out of Maru. Does avoid the splash damage. Very nice control. Is going to be cleaned up but traded as best he could. Starports are finishing up. Spirit CC still is on the way. That's a third CC out of Spirit. This is very similar to last game. Because our natural base is so delayed from Spirit, how do we catch up? Third CC. So Spirit is rushing and racing into his third CC as we speak. We'll see if we can get away with it. We'll see how Maru responds. So now Maru is setting up for some drop play. Setting up for a Cyclone drop. Working towards his own tank production with those add-ons. And Spirit taking a more defensive stance here. Getting into tanks, getting into Raven production. Interesting. Maru doesn't quite commit. I'm a little bit concerned. So because Maru doesn't move out with the drop, that means Maru doesn't scout. He doesn't know, doesn't see exactly how greedy Spirit is being. He's going for the same build. Okay, so game 1 and game 2, our players are doing the exact same thing. As Spirit is rushing into a third CC, Maru is going for a second starport, 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in out of Maru once again with the second starport, rushing into Mass Viking, into that Liberator, into the same push that we saw in game 1. But there's a difference. The difference right now is that Spirit didn't go for his own Cyclone drop, which means he has not scouted. Last game, Spirit, he saw the all-in coming, so he was able to prepare. It didn't save him, but it did allow him to elongate the game, right? He made for a longer series, a longer game 1. This time he doesn't see it coming. So now I'm that much more concerned for Spirit. I'm quite concerned. Raven comes in, gets him harassed, that's nice, but we need to scout. That's more important right now. Second starport is hidden in the natural of Maru. It's in the natural base. Cyclones, they do arrive across the map, going for the depot. And they're gonna get it. Ooh, we don't quite lift in time. We lose one Cyclone. But there we go, we're making 3 Vikings at a time. This should lead into another set of Vikings and into Liberators. And back at home, remember, Spirit, he's supply blocking, he invests into a third CC, a base that is not going to help out in this defense. This is ideal for Maru. And that's why also Maru, despite being scouted, was able to snowball out of control in the last game. Because Spirit, of course, is being greedy. Does spot some of the army. Doesn't confirm the move out. Maru going for a third CC behind this. Liberators on the way for Maru. The main army is spotted. Maru is making his way towards that main. Does rotate around. And Spirit is caught out of position. Uh-oh. And where are we headed? Spirit, okay, he has to... Does he commit? Yes, Spirit is pushing across the map. Meanwhile, Maru making his way into the main. Getting on top of the production, camping those add-ons. And Spirit, he's going for a base trade. He's sending everything across the map. Okay, let's go. We're going for the base trade. And things are about to get wild here, as Maru doesn't have much at home to defend. Yeah, not much at all. SCVs are going down. We have a Liberator in the main. Likewise, Maru also getting into the main base of Spirit, but Spirit does have an army to work with. Liberator going ham. We do focus on the Cyclone. Oh, Spirit is supply blocked. The production is falling. What you see is what you get for Spirit. And Spirit, he's racing back home. Uh-oh. Spirit, he did kill 27 SCVs, but he did not kill the main or the natural. So Spirit, he turns around. The boys are being pulled. We try to collapse on the army of the Vikings. They land just in time. And we have auto turrets. Yeah, Maru, he holds onto the ramp. That was a brutal moment. A brutal choke point. And Maru, he's snowballing out of control. He may have lost all his workers earlier, but GG gets called, and Maru will take the 2-0, will take down Spirit. GG. Oh, there's nothing left, Maru. you drank it all. GG, well played. That was a brutal moment for Spirit, winding it back a little bit. Remember, Spirit, he was out of position. And our players are getting ready. Just getting home from work. A little SC2 before sleep. Ah, let's go. Okay, our VODs are available if you are interested. VODs are available. You want to check them out on YouTube or Twitch. Otherwise, we're nearing the end of the broadcast. The final best of 2. If Max Packs gets to 2-0, then we will have an ace match. And we're jumping into post-youth. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Ryung for Team Vitality. And in the top right, we have MaxPax for Psystorm Na'Vi. Also, does Ryung have a pet? There's like a little cat bed in the background. I didn't know. Ryungja, do you have a little pet tuna? Show us as, oh my god, we're popping off. Let's go! Ryung going for the proxy across the map. The SCV has arrived. A very cheeky move here out of Ryung, right next to the Reaper cliff. Can go for the proxy Reaper. As there we go, the Rax is on the way. Now, are we spicy enough? Are we bold enough to float into the main and go proxy Marauder in the main base of MaxPax? That would be crazy. That would be wild. Is Ryung Gumiho? Like, Gumiho, he's more than willing to embrace that sort of play, that sort of style. We'll see if Ryung goes for it. For now, Rax is on the way. MaxPax coming in for a scout. MaxPax does confirm the Rax is missing. The Rax could be further back in the main, so we're checking. We're checking for the Rax. Could be hidden in the main base, could be hidden at the natural or at the third. The MaxPax, sorry, the proxy, the Rax doesn't have to be proxied. It doesn't have to be proxied. And we're rallied into the main. Okay. Looks like just proxy Reaper. Yeah, just the Reaper is on the way. MaxPax, he's checking his own main, looking to expand. Going Zealot first, taking it seriously. So MaxPax playing safe. And we'll see what Ryung can get done. As we also have an SCV going into the main. We could go for a bunker behind the mineral line. Is possible. Factory back at home. And it comes down to the control of Ryung. How many SCVs, how many probes can we get? There we go, the bunker is being thrown down, but the Zealot is already up. Zealot is up and running. Reaper ignores the Zealot, goes to the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. We do deny some mining time. One of the workers getting very low. But the bunker is cancelled, and we get one probe. Oh my god, we almost get surrounded. Be careful, Papi. We got one worker so far. MaxPax, nice control. He pulls away the second probe. Stalker has arrived, and we will shut this down. We will shut the Reaper down. Won't get much more. So denied mining time. It forced out a Zealot. Killed one probe. And will escape, actually. Oh my god. Does get away. Reaper does get away. We are now up to 2 Reapers. Ryung expanding back at home. The probe should be able to confirm. And now we can settle into a longer game. Ryung getting into his 1-1-1. Could be working towards a Cyclone drop. We'll keep an eye on Ryung. Reapers, meanwhile, they do dive back in. Trading with the Stalker is going to be brutal, and ooh, it does cost us a Reaper. Yeah, some rough control there from Ryung. Got a little bit too greedy, stuck around too long. Does lose the Reaper. And okay, it's going to be a bit of a kitchen sink. It's going to be a Cyclone into Widowmine. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice. MaxPax going for a Twilight Council, getting into Blink. Going to be a Blink-based opener here out of MaxPax. Ryung does move out with his Cyclone, but barely. They do miss each other. Yeah, the ships, they pass in the night. And we're moving out across the map. Is there much at home for MaxPax to defend? But there's one Stalker. There is the one Stalker which we can dive on. Yeah, we force a recall. Stalker, we get the lock on. Boys are being pulled. Big reaction there out of MaxPax. And Ryung backs off. He respects the recall. Gets the hell out of there. Pulls back. The Widowmine has popped in. Has popped out even. And there we go. We're moving out across the map, going for the double mine drop. Okay. A little bit old school. The double mine drop. Likewise, we have our Blink on the way. Additional gateway. It's going to be 2-gate Blink into a third economic build here by MaxPax. Not going to be overly aggressive. Sorry. Let's say 2-gate. Yeah, 2-gate Blink. 2-gate Blink into a third. So MaxPax doesn't have that many warpins. He's not going to have that much of an army. Just focusing on his economy. Trying to recover from the early game. Meanwhile, we have a Widowmine drop on one end. We have Reapers on the other. Ryung does go for the dive. MaxPax will react. Does pull away. Does manage to pull away. We do get the unburrow. Just holding on to that mine shot and does get another probe. So 2 workers for 1 Widowmine, as Ryung does save one of those Widowmines as well. Very nicely done. Does save it, pulls away. And because of this, Ryung, he will always be able to go back in and go for another mind drop and try to catch Max Pax, otherwise preoccupied. Try to catch him off guard. That's going to be in the back of Max Pax's mind. Has to keep some supply in the main. Meanwhile, he's moving up with the Stalkers. A blink about to finish in 10 seconds. And we do catch out the Cyclone. Very nice pickup. Cyclone goes down. Catch a Cyclone. Tank is in position. We got some tank volleys, but no Stalkers go down. We're going for the depot. It's going to be close. And the depot, it's going to get picked off. Does cost us one Stalker, but that's worth it. More gateways on the way. Ryung working towards Stim. +1. Combat Shield Stim is on the way, building up a Bio Force. I believe we have not seen a third CC yet. I could be mistaken. It could be on the left-hand side. I think it is, actually. Like, I see a big blob on the minimap. I think that is a third CC. No, never mind. That's a factory in Iraqs. Never mind. No third CC. There we go. Now it's being thrown down. So Ryung is not going for a 2-base all-in. He's building up towards a third, building up towards the mid-game. Likewise, Max Pax going for a massive gateway explosion. Interesting. It was 2-gate blink into a third into mass gateways and charge lots. Not into Storm, not into Colossus. No splash damage, just a swarmed hostile instead. Just going for this massive gateway composition initially. And that can work best, especially if Ryung moves out. Like, the ideal is to catch the army out of the open, out of the center of the map. Chargeless can't really break a Terran if they're being defensive and turtly. As Ryung does slip out. Moving out with that double drop, and I believe Max Pax barely did miss the drop. Does fan into Stalkers, but I believe he did miss it. So there's potential. There is potential for Ryung. Likewise, Max Pax getting ready for his own drop. We have that Widowmine as well, also in position. So we have 2 drops out for Ryung. And we're about to pop off. Can drop each other. Ryung, he does move out. That's going to be the sign for Max Pax to go into the main base of Ryung. Yeah, the War Prism you can see on the minimap is headed in. At the same time, Ryung likewise also going into the main. Auto charges get thrown down. And we do on borrow. We have the overcharge. Okay, the overcharge will maintain these Stalkers, at least most of them, but the Marauders, they pop off. Break down some of the Stalkers. The Prism in the main base is denied. Ryung gets the hell out of the main. And so does Max Pax. So both armies deflect each other. Both Ryung and Max Pax are ready for each other. And we will expand. We will continue. Ryung gets his third. Max Pax goes for the gold. Okay, we have a game back. Do you have a game? Ryung, he's still poised to go in with those drops. Still has 2 Medivacs on the left. Still has the 1 Widowmine on the right. Likewise, Max Pax still has that Prism as well. So if anyone slips up, if anyone gets caught out, we can punish them. It's a very careful play. Speaking of being caught out, Max Pax does get eyes on those Widowmines. The Vikings come in. We catch the Prism. Prism is going to go down. But likewise, Max Pax, he picks off all those Widowmines. Actually, 2 of them did on borrow, so only 1 went down. Nicely done. We saved the Prism. Oh my god. Max Pax does rotate. Does save the War Prism. Likewise, building up towards Colossus, getting the gold. Ryung, likewise working towards Ghosts. Ghost production on the way. And we haven't had any kind of big skirmishes yet. It's been purely harass. Until now. Until this moment, Force Woods are thrown down. Ryung is slow. It's going to be kept back. It's going to be pinned back here. Big Zealot counterattack is going to be caught by reinforcements. Ryung does deflect, pushing forward. We don't pull the trigger yet. Prism slips into the main. Ryung has eyes on it. Does respond. There we go. That's a kill on the War Prism. Shuts down the Zealots. At the same time, you can see Max Pax getting ready for a surround or a counterattack. Big tank volley is going off. That's a lot of Zealots. And that's double Dark Shrine at a max packs. Calm down. He really wants those DTs. Dark Shrines are on the way. Drop still not going in. Very patient play out of Ryung. Very patient. Yami pushes forward. Ooh. Nice scan. Takes down the Observer. Observer is sniped. Ryung gaining ground, pushing towards that center base. Disruptors have arrived. Just one Disruptor. AMP is going to be connecting. Nova goes off, but the Disruptor goes down. Ryung does hold the line. At the same time, Big's on a counterattack. Ryung will have to respond. Has an army in position. No bunkers. Tank gets caught on siege. And we pick off a tank. Ryung being forced back. Another tank going to be going down as well. Massive losses here for Ryung. Bleeds off 2 tanks. And the Widow Mines. Max pulling back. His Colossus looking a little bit bare bones. Gonna be reinforcing. Be reinforcing. Likewise, we catch out the double drop. Finally is gonna be cleaned up. The Raven as well. We did trade, but that was an expensive loss here for Ryung. Nova shaves off Marauders as well. Blink on the way for the DTs. Ryung will expand, taking another base. With that Planetary on the way, that means Ryung is less vulnerable to a Zealot run by, at least on the left-hand side. And we are building up +1 ship weapons on the way. Ryung, he's working towards Liberators. We're not there yet, but I'm sure Liberators are on the horizon here for Ryung. Leading up a Viking. Likewise, Maxpax embracing those Disruptors. We've already seen them pop off once before in today's broadcast. Can we see it again? The Nova's back. So far we pull away. Punish one of the Colossus. Maxpax ready for a flank. If Ryung ever overextends, we're going to come in for the surround. Maxpax is making 2 Disruptors at a time. Both armies are maxed. Catching the Observer. The Colossus as well. And we're down to 2 Colossus. At this point, we're mainly relying on the Disruptors anyway. We're mainly relying. Maxpax pushing in. Takes down the Sensor Tower. Never goes off. Ryung up against the wall. Being pinned back. Nice EMP on the Zealots, as Ryung does get eyes on the flanking army. Good vision there from Ryung. Forces Maxpax back. Maxpax taking another base. I mean, he does have map control. Now is the time for Maxpax to take up, take more bases. Likewise, Ryung throwing down a 2nd starport and a fusion core. We spoke about Liberators earlier. There it is. Liberation is on the horizon. We're going to have some freedom, Pop. Are getting there. Azals get caught out. Again, good positioning here out of Ryung. I mean, he's known for his positional play. That's why he excels in TVT. Nova's going off. Oh, the splits. For the most part, we avoid the Novas. Last Nova does graze the army. Ryung going for a massive counterattack, and Maxpax out of position. Yeah, the fresh base, it's going to go down. Same time, Maxpax pushing in. Nova's go off. Oh no! Late reaction. We drag the army in. Massive connections. And Ryung, he plummets in supply. That was the moment that Maxpax was looking for. Ryung was distracted. And Maxpax, can we break through? Can we push in? We are gaining ground. Pushing in on both ends. And things very quickly escalating out of control. 1 Nova is sometimes all it takes. Yeah, Ryung, he's crumbling. He's crumbling here. Under the pressure. We're pushing it on both ends. Ryung falling further and further behind. Another Nova connects. And it looks like MaxPax has done it. He's broken the defenses here of Ryung. He was playing so well, but GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. Ryung, he was holding his own the entire time, but one slip up, one mistake is all it takes. Those Novas were brutal, and as soon as that happened, that was go time for MaxPax. Up until then, it was pretty even, pretty back and forth. I was expecting with this game, we can force the ace match, but here we go in the top right-hand corner, we have Ryung for Team Vitality. And in the bottom left, we have MaxPax for Psystorm Na'Vi. Here we go. Here we go. Now that I've noticed that Ryung has like the little cat bed behind him, like my eyes are like always checking. I'm looking to see if there's like some kind of like entity in the background lunking about. So I haven't seen Ryung's pet. Haven't seen it. Curious. For now, we're settling in. We're calming things down here on Crimson Court. Again, Crimson Court also known for longer macro play just because of how many choke points there are, how many rocks there are as well. We've seen a lot of late game and a lot of split map scenarios on Crimson Court as well. I'm curious if that's what Ryung wants. I'm curious if he... Again, especially after what happened in that last game, it did feel like Ryung was keeping up for the most part with MaxPax, and it's possible that he just wants another kind of setup like that, where he can just like turtle up and set up on like 4 bases, taking a 5th, walling up, and relying on his unit control overall against MaxPax. His unit control and his positioning. So we'll see if that's the case. But now it's going to be a Rax Expand, Economic Open out of Ryung, going for the CC on the high ground just to be safe. But an Economic Opener nonetheless from our Terran player. Meanwhile, MaxPax going for a Gate Expand. A Gate Cyber Expand out of MaxPax. Standard Opener from our Protoss. Ryung has a big water bottle too. Yeah. The Vitality boys. They got to hydrate, Papi. They got to hydrate. Balance out the Terran Smurge. Of course, of course. I'm telling you, Team Vitality, they just have to like sell like Maru branded water bottles, which are like, you know, 3 liters. That's all we need. Everyone will get them. Wanna play like Maru? Drink 3 liters of water, Pop. Every ladder session. Drink it all. So we have our take of choice, going to be a Twilight Council opener here. Meanwhile, okay, Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. That is a second Rax. That is a second Rax before Starport from Ryung. This is looking like a very aggressive build, and this is looking like an all-in. We'll see if we throw down a third Rax before Starport. That's going to be kind of the big tell for Ryung. As if he does commit to that third Rax. Reaper dips it to the natural. Gets a probe, not bad. One worker goes down, but ooh, can Ryung escape the Shade? Shade gets one more shot, but the Reaper will get away. There it is. There's the production tab. Third Rax. Third Rax on the production tab. This is the beginnings of a 2-base all-in from Ryung. I mean, I say the beginnings. We could transition out of this. We could still go for the Starport, or we could move out with a stim timing with tanks and pull the boys. If you remember, if you were here earlier for Platinum R8 versus Mystery Gaming, Coffee went for a very similar build. Coffee went for a very similar build on Ghost River. We just pull the boys. You just pull the boys with 2 tanks. But regardless, Ryung, he's going to be waiting for stim. So very potent stim bio tank push. Or timing on the way for Ryung. We'll see if he does throw down the Starport, if he just skips the Starport and just pulls the boys. We shall see. Regardless, aggression from the Terran. And MaxPax has to piece it together. He has yet to confirm. Yet to figure out what's going on. He's going to threaten the Shade. Going for a Blink-based opener. Is that a 3rd or a 4th gateway for MaxPax? 2 gateways at the natural. Okay, 3 gate. So we are opening up Blink, that is true, but we are still going to be expanding behind it. eBay is on the way for +1. And if Ryung does catch the Adept, not bad. Adept goes down. The army's getting in position. Getting to our next wave of Marauders. Stim is almost done. We're getting ready for our push. At the same time, though, Maxpax going into the main. It's 3-gate blink. We can warp in 3 Stalkers at a time. Oh, the Adept does scout the main. Starport is on the way. It's not a 2-base all-in. But it is designed to move out. Alas, because of this build from Maxpax, Ryung is stuck at home. Does want to push, but he's going to be stuck at home for the time being. Stalkers get dropped into the main. We blink behind the mineral line. Tank was in position. Nicely done. So I love the Dark Shrine follow-up. So basically, Maxpax, he's scattered. He's scattered. He knows that a push is coming. So how do you respond? DTs. Right now, we only have 2 orbitals. 2 bases. We have limited mules. Very limited mules available here. Or limited energy, I should say, for Ryung. Limited scans. So we'll see how this works out. +1 is on the way. Combat Shield's about to finish. We catch the Observer. Not bad. Observer does get eyes on the starport. Now, does Ryung throw down a 3rd CC? There it is. 3rd CC's on the way. We're building up. So, this is better for Maxpax. Maxpax is in a really good position. He expands, takes a 3rd base, he's able to contain his opponents. Ryung did want to be aggressive, but he's stuck at home because of the build of Maxpax. And things are looking better and better here for our Protoss player. And here come those Dark Templar. DT is going to be waddling in. They delay the CC, they confirm the CC as well. Getting 2 SCVs. That's okay. More importantly, we scout. Alright, so Maxpax, now he knows that his opponent is transitioning, and he knows that he can take up. The Bay is on the way, +1 is on the way. Ryung needs to get some damage done, but the drop gets spotted! We spot the double drop. Stalker gets shut down. You can see Maxpax trying to catch that drop as well. He's being active. Ryung able to respond. Catches a Stalker. Catches 2, so very nice control here. Oh my god! Ryung! The target fire. Catching 4 Stalkers. Very nicely done here by Ryung. Now we're moving out, finally. Remember, this is no longer all in. We're expanding, taking another base. But Ryung is finally breaking free. It's a pretty hefty army. And can we do anything about the 3rd? As he moves out, oh, a drop comes in. And Prism into the main. Ryung thankfully has some production, has reinforcements. But he pulls back. Yeah, he pulls everything back home. So it's catching more SCVs. It's going to be 6 workers going down. 7 workers even. We catch 8 SCVs. Prism is caught out. Oh, barely survives. Oh my god. Barely gets away. But Ryung is forced into a longer game. Maxpax taking a 4th, building up towards Colossus. We're headed towards the mid-game. You know, the aggression for the most part has subsided, and we're headed into a longer game. The Viking will shut down the Prism. Recall won't save it. Ryung still has a pretty terrifying... Oh, he walls the boys! Let's go! It was a fake 3rd! He's crazy! Fake 3rd CC. Again, it looked like a 2-base all-in, and, you know, Ryung, he's embracing it here and now, even with a 3rd base. Send it, papi. Send it. Ryung moving out across the map. There are 2 tanks. Sorry, there are 2 Colossus, though. The Colossus are ready. Ryung spreading out, setting up. He's taking some time, though. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Maxpax. Trying to catch reinforcements. 3 Colossus now out. We do dive on 1. Yeah, we're collapsing on the main army. Big tank volley is going to be going off. We're getting some of the Colossus. The Colossus, they barely survive. All 3 of them do. Yeah, brutal losses for Ryung. Doesn't get a single one. We have a DT in the mix. Do we have a scan? Do we notice? 1 tank going down. We have a scan, but it's too little too late. Yeah, MaxPax, he shuts down the tanks. And it looks like MaxPax is held. Yeah, we have held on. Again, this was a bit of an awkward 2-base all-in out of Ryung. It took so long to get going because of the opener of MaxPax. MaxPax, he delayed and contained for so long. And by the time we move out, there's 3 Colossus. Like what can we do? Yeah, we dive on the main army, getting us up with the tanks. Tanks are going down one after the other. Ryung trying to hold on. There's still 2 tanks left. Big volley's going off. We catch a Colossus. Oh, we get 1. Not bad. We get a Colossus. We're going to keep on pushing. Can Ryung break him? Yeah, 6 more gates on the way. Can Ryung, he barely has those 2 tanks. Pushing into the natural. And MaxPax, I believe he just lost one of his Colossus. There's 1 left. Yeah, the Vikings, they're going ham. Ryung, can he pull this off? Up the final Colossus. The Vikings, they will bring it down. The final Colossus falls. Just a gateway army, and the delayed 2-base all-in. It's working. It's actually paying off. The 1 tank popping up. We have a skin. We shut down the DT. 1 game is all that Ryung needs. He's so close. Send it, Papi. The Vikings land. Overcharge runs out. We run out of the overcharge. We break through into the 3rd base. Reinforcements on the way. MaxPax does catch them. Does catch the reinforcements. Buying time. Setting up a surround. No. We are setting up for a surround. Zealots, they do bounce in. They do dive in. And we have more Zealots on the way. It's such a close defense here for MaxPax. Oh, he barely has enough. He holds on. Oh, that's so many medevacs. Most of the supply here for Ryung, it's in medevacs, Papi. He has to pull back. What this? Can we macro out of this? No, we cannot. Ryung, he's down to 23 SCVs, and MaxPax has a 4th. He had a 4th base the entire time. Yeah, we scan, we confirm the base. Ryung, he knows that he has to keep going. He just muled. Uh-oh. He did just mule. Again, DT's in this kind of all-in situation, DT's a king. And we pull the boys once again for a 2nd time. If it doesn't work the first time, just pull the boys once again. Send it, Papi. Let's go. And we have skins. Okay, we do have skins available. Diving on the 3rd base. Chargel's diving in. DT as well. Does Ryung notice? He does. Does focus on the 1st Dark Templar. Does get the 1st. Pushing forward, breaking through the Zealots, getting us over the Stalkers. And these Marauders, they trade well. They trade well against the Stalkers. Do we have another scan? DT coming in once again. We do catch it. DT goes down. 1 of them at least. Zealots diving in once again. Can we kite? We're bleeding out a lot of Marines. We're bleeding out a lot of Marauders. MaxPax barely forcing back the army, but without Zealots, the Stalkers, they melt. These Stalkers are so fragile. They cannot fight head on. Not against this army. Boys are being pulled. Another DT. Do we have another scan? Do we have another scan? Oh my god. I mean, even without it, Stalkers are holding on. Ryung, he's been so close. That 1 DT going ham. GG gets called. MaxPax barely holds on. And MaxPax takes the 2-0. GG. Oh my god. So close, Papi. So close. GG, well played. Mules will carry this. Mules would have carried it if Ryung could mule. That's the thing. Those DTs, they forced so many scans. That was so many mules not being thrown down, and that meant that Ryung had that much less to work with. That much less economy, that much less with the all-in. That was still such a close game. Such a close game. GG, well played. Shout out to Ryung, by the way. Again, a lot of people overlook him, but there's a world out there where he could have taken down MaxPax. Regardless, we're going to the ace match. And it has to be Maru versus MaxPax, right? I'm curious. I'm curious if Ryung maybe wants to redeem himself. And recognizing how close he was, I'm curious if Ryung wants to come out once again. Otherwise, it should be Maru. Should be Maru versus MaxPax here in the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Ugh. We're settling in. We're settling into Oceanborn. Regardless of how this turns out, it's going to be a best of one. Team Vitality have been undefeated. Team Vitality, they brought down all these other big teams like Basilisk, like Shopify, Team Liquid. They've all fallen at the hands of Team Vitality, but System Na'Vi, they rise to the challenge. They rise to the challenge. They forced the ace match here. Honestly, a lot of this came down to Geralt, right? Like, a lot of people assumed that Solar would have 2-0'd Geralt, but Geralt taking a map off of Solar gave his team a chance to allow this to happen. So honestly, like, if System Na'Vi take this, I feel like a lot of it is because of Geralt. Like, he's the unsung hero of this series. Unsung hero, Papi. Regardless, we're getting ready here for this final game. Merely a formality, like picking the players. It has to be Mara versus MaxPax, right? There's no shot it's any other player. No shot. No shot, Papi. It's here. Oh my god! He's crazy! Ryung, he wants his revenge. Okay. Okay, Papi. Ryung, he's back. He's like, mate, I almost had you. I almost had you, Papi. Let's go. Wind it back. Wind it back. It's MaxPax, of course, and Ryung, not Maru, as the ace player. Now, on the one hand, Team Vitality are undefeated so far, so their standings, they don't matter as much. As I say that, there's still 3 weeks left. There's still a good amount of rounds remaining here in this in the round robin stage, so every win does count. But Ryung, he's rising to the challenge. He did it for his team before in the finals against Clem, right? Like Ryung, he's the Clem crusher, right? Like he clowned all over Clem, but that was a TVT, right? That is what Ryung is known for. TVP. Do we believe? Do we believe in the tuna? Do we believe in the tuna Terran, Papi? Oh my god. Let's go. Ryung coming in when his team needed him most. It was obvious it was going to be MaxPax. Oh boy. Let's go. Let us go. Ryung is one of those people that all the pros respect for a great deal for a reason. Yeah. I mean, Ryung, he coaches Maru. Like, Maru often goes to Ryung for advice when it comes to like these big tournaments, or in general. Ryung, he's like the old master, you know? He's but he pops off when he needs to. Does pop off back. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay, now we've seen quite a lot of Ryung already tonight. We saw Ryung go for a... he's got the bottle. Let's go. Ryung, we saw him go for a macro game in game 1 against MaxPax, which was very close. Very close game on post-youth. Then we saw a 2-base all-in on Crimson Court. A 2-base all-in, which was delayed, but despite that, still almost worked. Like, the DTs were the MVPs for MaxPax. If it wasn't for the Dark Templar, Ryung probably ends the game there. He probably wins. Like, those DTs did so well, sniping key units, of course, forcing out scans, delaying or denying any kind of mules. But here we go, we're diving in top left-hand corner, we have Ryung for Team Vitality. In the bottom right, we have MaxPax for System Na'Vi. Whew. Let's go. Let us go. Does it mean that Ryung is Maru's boyfriend? No. That's Byun. Byun is Maru's boyfriend. Confirmed. Have you seen how they interact? They're all over each other, Papi. All over each other. Really, there's competition. All the Terrans want Maru. Byun, Maru. Sorry, Byun, Ryung. Bunny, Kior. The drama. The Terran drama, Papi. But here we go. We are settling in. Let's go. Byun shit. True. I forgot about that. Yo, have you seen the way that... Yo, Byun, Innovation, and Maru, that triangle, it's almost as spicy as, like, Gemini, Trap, and Hero, right? Like... Oh my god. The Korean drama. The love triangle. For those who maybe don't remember, I forgot until now. You just like lit a lice in my mind, Kuro. Bjorn used to be the biggest Innovation fan. Bjorn would go to Innovation autograph signings. He would go to like Innovation fan meetups and be there just for his autograph. Even when Bjorn was a pro player, he was a big Innovation fanboy. True. What now? What? Now that Innovation went to the military, what? You just cast him aside, Bjorn? Just throw him away? Is that how you treat your boy? Let's focus on the game. Let's focus on the game here, as it is going to be a standard opener out of max packs. Likewise, we have Ryung going for an economic build. It's going to be a rack expand single gas opener out of Ryung. Likewise, max packs going for a standard opener himself. So we are selling in. Why didn't they send Maru instead? Oh, because they have a plan. Clearly. They have a plan, Papi. Because Team Vitality want to win. Meanwhile, we have a Twilight Council open out of max packs. It's been a Twilight Council every game so far. If you remember, winding it back, game 1, max packs went for a 2-gate blink into a third. Game 2 was 3-gate blink into aggression to a third base. Does that mean, do we get into 4-gate blink? Are we just increasing that gateway count game after game? How aggressive or how economic does max packs want to be? For now, there's a second gateway in the way. There is that second gate. We'll see if we throw down any more. Keep an eye on max packs. Meanwhile, Adepts, they threaten the shade. Ryung settling into a 1-1-1. So earlier, if you remember, the sign that Ryung was going for a 2-base all-in previously was because he went for a second and a third racks before starport. This time, it's a straight up 1-1-1, racks, factory, starport. That means this time, no 1-base all-in. Ryung, he's setting up for a more mid-game kind of setup. He's setting up for a drop into tank production. Meanwhile, you can see the production tab, that is a third gateway on the way. So it's going to be 3-gate blink from max packs. 3-gate blink will allow him to be aggressive, will allow him to get map control, and to contain Ryung on 2 bases. And max packs should expand behind this, but this is the same build he had in the previous game. Now, thankfully for Ryung, he's not going for a 2-base all-in, so he's not going to be as... things aren't going to be looking as dire for Ryung as he did previously. As we did previously. For now, though, is moving out with his initial Cyclones. Liberator on the way as well. Oh my god, we've seen Maru do this, but the first Cyclone does fall. The first Cyclone does fall here, but Ryung, he's rallying everything across the map. Very aggressive follow-up, actually, from Ryung. We have seen this build from the Korean Terrans. But we do need to gain momentum early on. We sniped one of their Stalkers. Nice juggling. But ideally, we would have had 2 Cyclones here. Ideally. So a bit of miscontrol there out of Ryung. Does deny the third. Does contain. Ooh, but we shut down the drop. No! Full medevac goes down. Big sigh there on the cameras from Ryung. Not like this. Not like this, Papi. The medevac falls, and with that, max packs he expands. We do have the Liberator moving out to harass across the map, but Ryung has lost a lot of momentum. Ay. And now Ryung is in trouble. Max packs, he can blink into the main, he can blink into the natural. We can pull the Terran apart. Pushing forward, getting 2 SCVs. Liberator does siege, catching probes, not bad. Workers are going down, but we just bypass the main army. We get into the main. Tank does get in position. Ryung is keeping up. Likewise, re-sieging in the natural. Let's go. Ryung is still in this. Getting some damage done, but we need more. So the Liberator does fall. Stalker's rotating into the mineral line, but the tank is within range. Very good positioning here out of Ryung. He protects the mineral line. He does punish the Stalkers. And we hold. Ryung does hold, he minimizes his losses. Likewise, max packs is going to be containing his opponent. If he sees weakness, though, if he smells weakness, max packs will dive in. The Observer does confirm. Just get eyes on the army movements. We dive back into the main. We go for the tank. And we dive in! The tank does hold. The boys are being pulled. We hold on. We're holding, Papi. We hold. Third CC's on the way. Ryung gearing up for the mid-game. The Observer does confirm the third CC. Max Pax is aware. Max MaxPax is aware. And with this, MaxPax he can tech up. We're working towards charge, gateway explosion. We could even work towards a bay and a forge and upgrades, as MaxPax knows that Ryung isn't moving out anytime soon. And he does find the tank. Tank goes down, bunker as well. Boy's late to react, and we are picking Ryung apart. Yeah, we have control of the logo. We can even deny +1. Ryung has to respond, but too many stalkers. We catch another tank, and it looks like we're snowballing out of control. MaxPax, the ace player for a reason, one of the best Protoss players in the world for a reason as well. Ryung wasn't looking too bad in the previous 2 games against MaxPax, but here, this is a little bit more of a dominant showing here. Just shutting down the initial build, pulling Ryung apart. And we're bleeding out too much. That's 13, 14 SCVs going down. Ay, ay, ay. And too many losses. Big wave of reinforcements on the way. Remember, charge is now done. Delta coming in, and we can dive on the final tank. We can, and we will. There's still one more tank on the high ground, but there's barely an army. GG gets called, and MaxPax will take the series. We'll take down Ryung, and we'll win it all for Psystorm Na'Vi. GG, well played. Team Vitality, they were undefeated. They were undefeated for most of the round robin group stage, but here in round 8, MaxPax, oh, he's popping off, Papi. MaxPax, he looks so happy. Ah, big smile on his face. It's the MaxPax. GG, well played. MaxPax does take it, and with that, Team Vitality take their first loss. First loss of the season. There is now a bit of a blemish on their record. GG, well played. Oh my god, Psystorm Na'Vi popping off, and I mentioned before, I'll say it again, MaxPax was the ace player. Sure, he did carry his team, but I feel like Geralt was the unsung hero. Geralt, he was able to take a map off of Solar. If it wasn't for Geralt, then MaxPax wouldn't have had the opportunity in the ace match. MaxPax could not do it on his own. Geralt did support him. Geralt did pull his weight as well. So big shout out to Psystorm Na'Vi together as a team. Spirit had a rougher showing against Maru, but it's Maru. I mean, what do we expect? Spirit had a rougher showing against Maru, but again, Geralt with the win over Solar did allow MaxPax to bring it back in the end. So congratulations to Psystorm Na'Vi. With that, we will be wrapping up our broadcast. We will be wrapping up for the night. Again, that does wrap up round 8. We casted day 3 of WTL on Sunday. Did cover that live. And of course, WTL round 9 is coming back in a couple of days. Checking our calendar, tomorrow we're going to be live with Kung Fu Cup, and the day after tomorrow, on Thursday, is WTL. This is a bit of a PSA. WTL is usually over the weekend. Usually it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This week, it's a little bit different. This week, it is going to be a little bit different, and it is a little bit earlier in the week. So the next day, the next round of WTL begins on Thursday. It's going to be on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. They're going to be skipping Saturday. Just as a heads up. As a heads up. Otherwise, if you want some more StarCraft action here on the CranKy Ducklings, we're going to be casting Kung Fu Cup tomorrow in just under 24 hours. In 23 hours. 23 hours time, we're going to be live here with Kung Fu Cup. If you can't wait that long, if you want some more StarCraft action, then in around 9 hours, I want to say. Around 9.5 hours, we're going to be back. We're going to be live here with the Code for Giants Cup number 7. If you're curious, what is the Code for Giants Cup? Haven't heard of that before. We've been casting it here on the channel for the past for the past month or so, and it is a Brazilian only tournament. So if you want some Brazilian action, we got you covered in 9 hours time. We're going to be featuring players like Eric, players like Master, Inexorable, Yan, alongside many other players. Of course, Cosmos is going to be casting in Brazilian as well, and we'll be casting in English. So we'll get you covered in 9 hours time. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in 23 hours for Kung Fu Cup. If you're curious what Kung Fu Cup is, it's KFC, papi. Make sure you have your KFC ready for Kung Fu Cup. It is a weekly tournament, also run by the people behind WTL, and because of how big the prize pool is, it brings together the best players in the world. It brings together players like MaxPax, Clem, Raynor, Cyril up against Beyond, Dark, Hero, Classic. They all face off against each other. in a big single elimination bracket. What I will say, though, about Kung Fu Cup is we will be missing some players. Several, of course, busy with military service. Maru does not play in Kung Fu Cup, and Hero has been avoiding these tournaments. If you didn't hear, Hero did update us in his Discord server. If you didn't know, Hero has his own Discord. He does interact and does speak in English as best he can. But Hero did let us know a couple of weeks ago that he is not playing in online tournaments in preparation for EWC. Hero is one of the few. He's one of the few players that is completely avoiding these online tournaments and preparing for Esports World Cup. I'm excited to see what Hero looks like when he does show up for that final tournament, for the World Finals. I'm curious to see what form he's in because we have not seen him. Again, Hero, he's been avoiding KSL, Kung Fu Cup, and ESL Open Cups as well. He's been avoiding all of these weekly tournaments, intentionally so, for EWC. So Hero is taking it very seriously. Very seriously. For some reason, I imagine Hero is a crazy scientist closing his lab. He is. He's cooking, Papi. He's cooking. He's cooking something. Is it edible? We don't know. We're going to find out. We will find out when the Esports World Cup does roll by. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Again, if you want to check out some more StarCraft action, we got you covered over the next couple of days, whether it's tomorrow for the Brazilian events or for Kung Fu Cup, or the day after with WTL with World Team League as well. Fun fact, tomorrow is going to be a trifecta. Tomorrow we have Code for Giants Cup in the morning, Kung Fu Cup in the evening, and OSC King of the Hill right after Kung Fu Cup. So, give me your strength. Give me your strength. Give me your support. Tomorrow is going to be a big day of StarCraft. Big day of StarCraft. A lot of casting going on here. Again, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. YouTube and Discord. Exclamation mark socials in the chat. Exclamation mark socials if you want to follow us on all the social medias. We do stream on a daily basis. Sometimes 2 times a day. Sometimes 3 times a day like tomorrow. So plenty of StarCraft is on the horizon. And, plenty of StarCraft on the horizon. So you can follow us if you're interested. You can follow us if you want if you enjoy the casting and you want some more. We do stream more often than any other, I should say we cast more often than any other out there. So plenty of content here on the CranKy Ducklings and plenty more to come. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who do we raid? Who do we send our love to? I see Skilless. Nikita. Nikita is streaming. True. Who else is streaming right now? I see Harstem, Lambo. Oh, everyone's streaming. Jesus. It's Harstem, Lambo, Skilless. Bratok. Bratok also streaming. But they have a lot of viewers. So usually we try to raid smaller streamers that need more, that would benefit from more viewership. So find someone else. I see Strange. Strange also played earlier today. True. Keep streaming till KFC. Oh, you're an animal, Bob. You're an animal. We're going to head off. We're going to head off for the night. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thanks so much for the support. So we're going to be heading off for the evening. So thank you so much. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Code for Giants Cup in 9 hours' time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego.